Hey everybody, welcome to a brand new MMA Roasted podcast. It's me, Adam Hunter. I am here with Andrew Montañez. We're waiting for Steven Quadros to move his car, and Renato Laranja got stopped by the cops on the way over here. So, interesting beginning to the show again. It's going to be a good show. Update from last week's show. Dean McDermott's dog, actually, both his dogs got attacked that day. Two of his dogs, they're okay. They made it. They had to go to the vet, but the dog survived from the coyote attack. So happy ending there. And Dean will be with us again next week. I'm sure he'll tell us all about it. I want to thank our sponsor, Blue Apron, the #1 fresh ingredient and recipe delivery service in the country. Their mission is to make incredible home cooking accessible to everyone, and they achieve this by supporting a more sustainable food system, setting the highest standards for ingredients, and building a community of home chefs.
It's amazing.
Me and my wife, we have Blue Apron Night, and it's healthy. They don't waste food. They've established partnerships with over 150 local farms, fisheries, and ranchers across the U.S., and as a result, their seafood is sourced sustainably under standards developed in partnership with the Monterey Bay Aquarium Seafood Watch. Their beef, chicken, and pork come from responsibly raised animals. Look, cooking together builds strong family bonds, and research shows that Blue Apron families cook nearly 3 times more often. Those spend a lot at restaurants. I'm sure you spend a lot at restaurants.
I don't even use my kitchen, really.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, now you should, because I'm telling you, Blue Apron, it's...
Well, the hardest part is, getting all the ingredients and stuff.
Yeah, right. Right.
That's the hardest part, is getting all the ingredients, going to the supermarket.
And nothing is worse than coming home and getting 9 out of 10 things, and then it happens all the time. Well, now Blue Apron, they made things affordable, flexible, easy, and guaranteed. Check out this week's menu and get your first 3 meals free with blueapron.com/MMA roast. That's blueapron.com/MMA roast. You'll love how good it feels, how good it tastes, and be able to create incredible home cooked meals with Blue Apron. It's a better way to cook. Also, I want to thank another sponsor we got, Speedweed. Listen, people, when you find yourself in need, trust in speedweed.com for overnight delivery service to over 1,088 cities across California. You can find everything from flour, edibles, concentrate, topicals, vapes, and more. Sign up and use code ROASTED for $10 off for orders more than $100 at speedweed.com.
Yeah.
My back has been killing me, and I've been using this CBD oil.
This is great.
Pain relief. I'm telling you, forget Advil, aspirin, all this other stuff. I roll this stuff on, and my back feels so much better.
Really?
My shoulders. Yeah. If all you guys who train, Cain Velasquez he was using cannabis oil, and if Cain Velasquez can use it, I'm you know what? I've been using cannabis oil on my back and my shoulder, and I feel so much better.
And in 2017 with delivery services, to get your weed delivered to your house,
it's great.
That's
because then the thing is, you go to a dispensary now, especially smart. They usually
close early too, which is a bummer.
Yeah, but they do have hot bud tenders. You ever go to a?
I go to one on Melrose near the 101.
Yeah,
it's all girls working there.
That's actually they're pretty smart about that.
All girls working, and you go in there, they're playing pop music. I'm like, what a fun little.
And then they're all stoned. They have that stoned eye.
Oh
where,
yeah.
Their eyes are glazed. Anyway, listen, today we got a great podcast. We got Steven Quadros, to Fight Professors, coming in, as well as Sara McMann, who's just had a tough loss, but we're going to talk to her. I'm sure she's going to bounce back. There's a girl who, she's no matter what happens with that girl, she just keeps moving forward.
Steven Quadros, too.
I just got back from Iowa. I was in Iowa doing comedy. It was pretty awesome. I like Iowa.
Time?
It was a great time. The only problem was my back gave out halfway through my set, and I'm like, uh-oh. But the thing about Iowa people is they're just so nice, actually, but they sometimes feel like they could just talk to you during your set. And there are some comedy clubs that, as soon as someone talks, they jump on you.
Kick you out.
They kick you out right away. A lot of the funny bones at improvs, a lot of the clubs that I play.
I've been asked to leave a couple times.
Really?
Yeah.
You're that guy?
I didn't mean to be. Just once.
Just once. That's
2010.
Okay, that was.
It was a long time ago.
By the way, so we got the Fight Professor coming in, a legend.
Apparently, I was a heckler. I didn't really mean to be a heckler.
Steve Quadros. So Steve Quadros is here.
Andrew Montañez, aka the Squid.
He knows.
Did you ever call any of Andrew's fights, by the way?
No, but I got to know Andrew at Nokia, right?
At the Nokia Theater?
Yes. Because I used to call the University of MMA fights. I used to do the commentary, and I was like, oh shit, like the legend. One of the reasons why I was trying to get into commentary, sitting ringside.
I can't well to say that.
Yeah, he did.
No, you are a legend, man. I mean,
nobody used to get dinner after the fights, and we just became friends.
Yeah, I know.
The thing about you, Steve, and I gotta say, man, for a guy who has done what you've done in the fight world, with Steven, you probably are one of the.
What did I do again?
You've called some of the greatest fights of all time, and you're also a 8th degree black belt or something, some kind of insane.
13th now, man.
No, what are you? Really?
It's the elevator. How many?
Are you a red belt yet? How far are you from a red belt?
No, I'm post-menstrual at this point.
So, a guy like that, you are one of the most down-to-earth and humble people that I've ever met in this business, which is probably why you're not farther along. But you're
just because I'm the greatest doesn't necessarily mean I'm humble.
You're very humble, man. You're very easygoing. You're one of those guys that will talk to anybody and treat everyone the same. Which is
how we got him on the show.
Which is super
to anyone.
Which is super cool, man. And somebody that like you see so many people in Hollywood. You see them comics. You see them before they're famous, during they're famous, and then whatever, and they just change. And I don't know if you ever were like that back when you were calling Fedor versus Crow Cop or whatever. But did you call that fight, by the way?
I did not. That was after I left.
Okay. What are some of the biggest fights you've called?
Nogueira versus Fedor won, and that was a freaking class. It was like Ollie Frazier. And of course, Sakuraba versus Royce Gracie, the first one, which was 90 minutes. And then there were a number of other ones that around the world, like the one in Wembley Arena, where it was Cyborg versus Melvin Manoff.
Wow.
It was very obscure to most people because most people honor, whatever they're programmed to believe from what they read on the media.
Yeah.
But that fight, they punched themselves out so much that they were like standing with their arms down in the second round, like thinking, I gotta lift my arms up to hit this guy. And finally, Melvin Manoff KO'd Cyborg, but it was one of the craziest fights ever.
Was that Cage Rage though, or was that?
Yes, it was.
It was Cage Rage, right?
Now when you were
show, man, Cage Rage was.
Cage Rage was the shit back then. I always watched Cage Rage, man. That's where Anderson Silva fought the guy that made that biggest robbery ever, or whatever.
No, actually, wasn't
that Cage
That
Rage?
Was before Cage Rage, and
the guy from England.
That was another.
The guy that knocked out Tito in the street fight. What was his name again? Lee Murray. Yeah.
He's a friend of mine, and now he's in a hotel in Morocco with bars.
Yeah.
But that was some crazy stuff because I got a picture of me, Lee Murray, and Ian Freeman in the cage in London because I used to go over there like 5 or 6 times a year to commentate for those guys, and that was the most budding outfit, Cage Rage. Andy Gear and Dave O'Donnell, they really put together. They had Anderson Silva, Vitor Shaolin Ribeiro was the lightweight champion. Chris Lytle was the welterweight champion. Antonio Silva, Bigfoot Silva, was the heavyweight champion. I mean, it was a flock of people who went on.
I think if Silva was still allowed to take TRT, he would still be a very dangerous man. Like I think he was the guy that probably was the only guy that I'm like should be allowed to take that stuff because I think he needed it to like live or something.
I think they all should be able to take it.
Come on. But
I like back in the day with like from Renato.
By the way, Renato just showed up. He got pulled over by the police on the way over here.
Yeah, you saw the car stop over there?
No fala português.
You saw the car stop over there?
Sit down.
That was you?
Yeah, that's me.
Sit down.
Oh, dude. You guys harassing me.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you tell him who you were?
Yeah, I as a matter of fact,
I think you just give him your license and then.
Yeah.
I told him I was going to a fucking podcast, and I said, "Listen, I do seminars for you guys, for fallen cops and families and shit like that." And he goes, "Thank you," like sarcastic, "Well, thank you very much,"
What did he pull you over for?
I'm supposed to get a
smog check.
Yeah.
There's all this fucking crime and bullshit going on in LA.
So they stopped me. I said, listen, I'm trying to get to this podcast.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get to this podcast. You know where it was? Right in front of the building.
Yeah, I think I saw it right there.
And I said, listen, man, and then he was just being a smug fucking asshole. And then another thing is,
I walked right by you.
Do you need to? Yeah, I know. And I tried to say hi to you.
Because you had shaded windows, so.
You couldn't see it because it was all smoggy.
Yeah, and meanwhile I have a fucking Honda. You know what I mean? I have a Honda S2000. It's not gonna have a fucking smog. There's no smog.
Why smog check? Like is that really even a crime? Not having a fucking smog check? I mean, seriously.
But I'm just saying the way that they treated it too was like, do they customarily? I always thought it was just one guy come to your window. This guy comes this side. This guy.
Yeah,
comes
their
this
guns
side,
drawn or no?
And then the guy starts banging on my fucking window. The guy on the passenger seat, and she starts freaking out. He's like, open the window, you know. And I'm like, shut the fuck up, you know. And I'm just trying to stay calm and not make any. You know, they didn't have the guns drawn or nothing, but it's just like, it's I don't know.
Your blood started, but you got away with no ticket though.
Yeah, I got a ticket.
You got a ticket?
Yeah, fix it, chicken. But, whatever. That's not even the point. The point is, leave me the fuck alone.
But you're here now.
Yeah, I know. It's just one of those things when you know you could beat the fucking living shit out of somebody and they can just control you. And
I just don't understand like a smog. I could see if you were speeding, if you went through a red light, or something where they have a point to pull you over. But to go around going, oh, wait, he needs a smog check, is just, so to me, it's come on.
And also the reason why I even went that fucking way was because this construction over here, I couldn't get through. You know, the other one? And so I was like, I'm going to be fucking late. So I go around the shit.
Do you think he pulled you over, had no reason, and then said, oh, you need a smog?
No, they had to have, they had to have just saw, they probably saw it, you know, they just saw it and say, hey, look, let's get that guy, whatever. I don't know what the fuck they thinking.
You think you think Vinny Magali sent him?
I don't know, but it made me like, you know, that same feeling you get when you want to get into a fight, you know?
Of course.
Where you start shit, you know, you just start the anger, you know, where you can't see straight, you just want to fight, you know.
Yeah.
And then when the guy gave the sarcastic thank you after I said, listen, you know, I teach jiu-jitsu, I do charity seminars for you guys, for fallen soldiers, all that kind of stuff. I'm one of the good guys, you know? And they're like, oh, well, thank you very much, you know? Like, and it's like, you know what? Yeah, you wish you had I wish I could have fucking...
No.
I'm just saying. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. That's how I feel. It makes me want to go, you know what? Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah.
You know?
Have you guys ever had a cop pull a gun on you?
Yeah, of course. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
For what?
For walking outside my apartment in Hollywood, they were busting some gangbanger. And I went over there and looked, and I thought, okay, it was Saturday night. I was all dressed up nice. We were going to go to some club. And I start walking away and go, hey, you. And I go, what? I just, no, don't worry about it. And he goes, and he pulls out his gun. And he goes, stop right there, motherfucker, you know.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking at this guy, the blonde guy with a little blonde mustache. I think it was the character that they fashioned, that Pac-Man character in the colors.
Yeah.
This guy.
I thought you meant the Pac-Man, the heel one.
Manny Pacquiao?
So,
the video.
Yeah. No, but you know, it was the movie
Colors.
I know, I've seen that one.
Okay, so I'm sitting there going, okay, and this guy pointing a gun, 357. It was before, you know, Glocks and Berettas and all that shit.
I want to blow your fucking hat off.
Yeah, and I said, remember, Clint Eastwood always shoots the bad guys. He goes, okay, smart, yeah, watch where you're going. Puts his gun in his holster and like that. I thought, are you kidding me? It was like a block and a half from the public police station where I used to live.
Yeah.
Had a little body.
There's some really good cops, and then there are some guys that I knew in high school that were complete bullies. That this was their way of becoming a bully in like older years, like
you know,
like especially Long Island.
I have a lot of them.
Like they just
Long Island douchebags.
Yeah,
they love shaking people.
They didn't want to go to college, or like they just went to right to the. I'm like, man, now they're.
I got family on the force, and he's an instructor now, and he was a former sharpshooter in Iraq and Afghanistan. He's a good guy, you know. But then you know there are bad cops, like the guy that jacked me, and there was another guy. There was a couple of them in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Assholes.
So,
real quick though, but I want to say about cops, it's just like they're no different than anybody else.
Right.
They fucking got cool guys, weird guys, assholes, sweet people, gay people. You know that there's everything in the fucking. I mean, why would we expect it to be any different than the rest of a life? Yeah. You know, like
you see cops go after guys, some throw hands, some.
So
you know, some are wrestlers, some are jiu-jitsu.
A lot of them ain't the best hustlers from a lot of the videos I see.
They get mounted.
It looked like a pee-wee football. You know where they got 5 kids taking down one fat kid. You know?
Yeah,
it don't look that technical. So go ahead.
So as we were saying, we were talking about some of your legendary.
We're going
back to legendary fights.
I had a lot of them.
Now, thank you. Now, when Sakuraba Gracie, you were talking about the hour and a half. Did you know how good Sakuraba was before that fight?
I had suspicions, but that was a true test because Royce had basically dominated the UFC. The early UFC's won, 3 of the first 4 tournaments, and was like a semifinalist in the other one where he got hurt, and he had Harold Howard got the bye run. But
I love Harold Howard.
Yeah, dude.
If you get going,
the hair though, come on.
Very nice stuff. He was Daniel McBride before Daniel McBride.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and he had the tooth thing, and what was the shake?
If you're coming on, come on. Yeah, anybody out here who's young to this game, look up Harold Howard. You're not gonna be disappointed.
Don't hate the hair.
He's probably the best ever.
So
right handle. That bag or the bag, eat the bag.
Yo, I don't want to get hit by that.
So Sakuraba, you had suspicions he was as good as he was?
Yeah, because Sakuraba was doing well, and he had that bait match with Royler Gracie, which was apparently was supposed to have no referee stoppage, and it was referee stoppage, but Sakuraba was dominating the fight because there's a weight situation, and Sakuraba was just different. He was throwing back kicks and crazy moves. Sakuraba, in a pre-fight press conference, was working out, and he was wearing a diaper. And people said, "Dude, why are you wearing a diaper?" He goes, "Well, you never know. The thing is unlimited time limit. I might have to go to the bathroom and fight."
Oh wow!
Shit, that's smart. He's thinking out the box.
Yeah.
You get them on a triangle with like.
Too bad Justine Kish didn't think that way.
Wow.
And
I like that.
The funny thing is that the day before the event, which was a huge deal, it was the finals of the Pride Grand Prix. They had the opening round in January, and this was like I think May, and the rule meeting came, and Royce Gracie had specifically demanded and got different rules than the other guys. Unlimited time limit. Everybody else had to fight 1 or 2 rounds. That was it. And
yeah.
You had to make a decision and go on. But Royce was no judges, no anything. So Royce Gracie didn't show up to the rule meeting. Sakuraba, who was always really quiet and mellow, was pissed and yelling. And I took a picture of him. He's like ready to kick somebody's ass right then and there, and screaming and yelling. And then the fight played out, as you know, when the 3 guys walked out with the masks.
Yeah.
And you didn't know which one was. And I said, but you can tell, but
one of them is Chinese.
Was he pissed at disrespect for not being in the rules meeting, or was
he thought it was like you wanted unlimited time limit. You wanted special rules that nobody else had because you had that kind of clout.
Yeah.
Right.
But then you're not even going to show up for the rule meeting. It was just like a ceremonial thing.
Now when he beat Royce Gracie,
why he have crowd? I don't understand that. He have a kind of crowd. What kind of crowd?
Royce Gracie, because he was a big name, he was the biggest name in MMA.
But what crowd have to do with this?
No.
Sauerkraut?
No, not crowd. Clout.
What that means? Oh, like on the sky?
Like like clout, like respect.
Like up in the clouds?
Yeah.
You up in the clouds. What you been smoking about?
Speaking of which, by the way, we're sponsored by LA Speedweed, so you can go in that box and you can take whatever you want.
That's natural medicine. You saw already what happened to the cops for a smog check. What if I have that box? They're gonna come up and they're gonna prison.
Asshole! I'm gonna blow you away, brother.
Now, how did the Gracies react when Royce lost?
Well, that was one of those things. There was somebody tweeting back and forth. What was the last time in modern era somebody threw in the towel?
Yeah.
And they threw in the towel after 90 minutes because the low kicks were just brutal.
Right.
It was a thing where I wasn't around Horian or Elio to get the reaction, but I'm sure that because Royce, when he went into the airplane, the legs swelled up.
The pressure.
The legs swelled up. So when he got off, there's a wheelchair.
Okay.
Yeah, they tell you not to do that, to fly after if you get some shit.
Did you work that?
All jacked up.
Did you work the Henzo one when Henzo didn't tap? And his arm?
He got this Steven Seagal elbow thing.
Yeah. You called that one?
Yeah, it was like nuts because it was one of those things where that was a real legit top contender guys. Henzo, who's a killer, against Sakuraba, and everybody said, well, if there's a Gracie to beat Henzo right now, other than Hickson, this guy right here. And it was one of those things where he did that, back control, defense. And like I said, he did the Steven Seagal fake arm break,
Now, were you yelling, stop the fight, or I mean...
He's not yelling that. Stop the fight.
I mean, when you see the guy's arm get, taken off, what were you thinking? No, I've seen Teddy Atlas. You ever see Teddy Atlas? Stop the fight! Yeah, he'll yell, stop the fight. Teddy Atlas, the boxer.
Teddy Atlas is a different guy. He's from, East New York, I think.
I think he is. Yeah.
That's a heel.
He went on a nice rant yesterday about Adelaide Bird too.
But
Teddy Atlas is a heel chuff. Like that's the dude who, what's his name? Mike Tyson tried to get fresh with his like niece or something. He put
I think it was his sister.
He put a jam into his But I'm saying like everybody. That was when everybody was afraid of Mike.
Well,
Tyson,
his scar. He has a scar that goes like halfway down.
That's like a heel New York chuff
guy. People
guy.
were more afraid of Teddy Atlas back then.
Probably.
You know, and now they're probably even more afraid because the monitor. He's up to the monitor. He's screaming at the monitor.
So I mean, but like a guy's arm is hanging off. What were you saying? Or what were you thinking?
Screaming and what the hell? Everything you can't curse. You know. So we're going OMG and everything else. We're thought, what is that?
You can't even say oh my god. You have to say OMG.
No, I said that. You know, but we going,
LOL.
Did you work that one with Coleman? That was obvious work.
We did that. Okay. This is a
how
fact.
dare you?
I love Mark Coleman.
How dare you?
He even kind of admits that. He says,
kind of admits?
He sort of says like, you know what? I did some things that I probably shouldn't have, and they promised me another fight. And
are you suggesting?
I don't even want to. Okay.
In Pride, they did works.
Did you work?
Suggesting that?
Yeah, did that one?
Yes, and here was the situation. Pride had already had 8 shows prior to them having us come in, Boss and I, to do the English language commentary. So we went into the studio to do the commentary, and we did such a good job. Everybody thought we were live, right? So that was one of them. And Boss said, "Okay, this one."
Yeah.
This one. I go, "Don't worry, I'll set this." Boss, don't worry, I'll take care of it. I'll take care. I have everybody, Stephen Quadros, I'm fighting professor alongside El Waco, Boss Root, and blah 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 blah. Set this one up for us, Boss. And he goes, no. And then they do the thing we called it, and then I say, I think something to the effect, and I don't study the old work. I say, who would have thought that Mark Coleman would have tapped out to a heel hook from Takada, which we all knew that.
Yeah.
Everybody said, well, I think he's going to die to a heel hook on this one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but you know, I wasn't in any rooms or any deals were cut. I just called the fight.
Right.
That's our
but
job.
afterwards, was there like? But did you guys feel kind of dirty afterwards? Did you sort of like feel like?
It ain't his fault.
I know, but it's just sort of
process. He's doing his job.
Yeah.
Exactly. See, that was before he went on to beat Volchance and all these other killers.
Yeah.
So it obviously didn't slow his momentum. If anything, it built him up. You know, like a buildup of bodily functions that you need to expunge at some point.
So, anyway, I just got back from Iowa. I was talking about Iowa to start the show. So Iowa, think about the crowds in Iowa. They're the nicest people, but they sometimes want to talk back to you. So I'm on stage, and the first thing I told a joke about, you know, some girls don't like giving head. I call those girls single, right? And then some lady goes, I don't like giving head, like right in front. Well, with her husband. I go, I'm like, he must be thrilled, and he's like, tell me about it.
So just kill yourself.
So like, I'm like, why do you not like giving head? She's like, I get TMJ.
So at least she's telling you the guy got a big dick,
right?
What?
Too much.
That's part of it too.
So yeah, so that was
TMJ.
I mean, she goes, I go right to the fucking is what she basically said. So, which, you know.
She ain't got that oral fixation.
But she's stupid. Like, she just don't have the high technique. She could learn to use mostly her hand and go rap like that.
Yes.
Like, she don't have to go like, and then she's probably biting on that fucking thing like a mad dog after a bomb. Hey, I got a question here.
Yeah, your mic is fine.
So last time I was here, clearly my mic was turned off, and I sound like I was you.
By the way, we are sorry about that. That was my fault. I didn't adjust.
This fucking guy sounded like Biggie Small. You ever heard of Biggie Small interview? You know how I'm not suggesting this about you, but you know how like obese characters.
He's no longer. He's now Darth Vader.
Like this? They go like. Yeah. Like they sound like they're snoring when they're awake.
I wasn't even close to this.
You know, I know that's the funny thing.
Yeah.
I'm not blaming on you, but and you know, like
it was my fault. It was my fault.
Where what's his name was like, Mama put a knife to Chico neck. You know how fucking Biggie Small?
Yeah.
He's breathing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He said his Asian mama put a knife to his
Okay, so
Chico neck.
so this time.
But anyway, so I'm a little wary. Imagine my dismay when I come. First of all, I see that I have the only one that you can't fix in a certain direction.
By the way,
yes, you can.
By the way, people. By the way, people that want to watch this. By the way, you can watch the show on Pluto TV.
How you did that?
And you can get it on. You can get it on your iPhone. You can get it on your Android. You can get it on Roku. You can get it on
TV.
Apple TV. Okay.
Amazon
Laranja
Fire.
TV.
And it's all free, okay?
This will be on demand this episode. We're going to start putting the show on demand.
If you demanded it, well, you can have
you don't have to pay for it, okay? So
fantastic.
You can,
and they don't have to pay me for it either.
so yes. Well,
So wait, hold on. Here's another stuff.
Yeah.
I love also how you guys took extra care to put some nice electrical tape on here just to make sure everything is nice for me.
All right, so
just extra buttress.
All right, back to Iowa.
But he used the white man's magic to help fix that.
Okay, so back to Iowa. So then, right? So then I'm going, and then there's this one guy in the back, this big tall guy in the back, and I was asking the crowd, I'm like, oh, you've been married for 40 years. I just got married. Any advice? Some fucking asshole in the back goes, I got advice. Kill yourself. Right?
Well, sound advice.
I was like, yeah. So people started laughing, and I was like, oh, that's my dad. He comes, he comes to all my shows. But then the guy goes, I go, are you married? And then his girl was like, no. And then she's like, and he goes, yeah, but I got a sex tape with her. You want to see a video of her blowing me? Like, this is what the guy tells me during my show.
So you started to lose control.
Yeah. I was like, I'm sure it's a short film. And then the place just went ballistic.
Oh, so you worked with it?
Yeah, I worked with it. Got him good. But Iowa was fun. Iowa, I actually had a good time. Other than blowing out my back, which is like I'm on stage and all of a sudden my back just kills. So I don't know what happened. So I've been using the CBD oil, like I said, the roll-on, and this has been actually helping my back out a lot. You can get from
what kind of properties delivered right to your house.
You can get it from Speedweed.
What kind of properties they have on there? Like what it does? It relax your back?
Yeah. It kind of numbs it a little bit. And
it numbs your brain too.
Yeah, it numbs your brain.
Natural marijuana.
And then I came back, and then
wait, what that means? It says congratulations free on there. Why it have Portuguese? It says parabéns free.
I don't know.
That's interesting.
Steven, will you read that?
No follow. Cruelty free.
Cruelty free.
No HGM.
Cruelty free.
No HGM.
No.
Certified organic ingredients. Active ingredients. Cannibal oil.
Why is it?
Not congratulations. It says cannibal oil, not congratulations.
What? No, not that. The parabéns is congratulations in Portuguese. Why is cruelty free? There's no
animals will hurt that. But let's talk about the fight that happened last week. Couple fights. First of all, let me. Here's my thoughts on the Triple G Canelo fight. I thought maybe Triple G, maybe Canelo. I gave him 3 rounds. If I was being nice, if I was looking to give him rounds, I would have given him 3 rounds.
The later ones.
Losing maybe round 11. That was one where I think he definitely won. I didn't see him winning at all. And boxing is so stupid because they had 2 weeks in a row, or 2 out of 3 weeks, where they could have actually really stepped up their game. When you had the McGregor-Mayweather fight, right? Which I think they screwed it up by having 19 undercard fights.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That nobody fucking knows. They could have actually put good guys on there, like that heavyweight from Alabama, Deontay Wilder. Ooh. You put him on there. You put the guy, that amazing guy from Russia who's like 901 as an amateur. You put it, whatever that guy's name. You know what I'm talking? If you would have stacked it, everybody. But instead,
there's not enough money.
It has to do with promoters. It has to do with.
I know, but that's the problem.
They can't work with each other because
I thought the card was stacked. Though I thought it was.
We was lucky that we even got the other shit.
But they screwed it up by doing that, and then all of a sudden, they also made it so that you can't order it as well. Like they screwed up on the ordering. So then this week, all right, you got Canelo Triple G. Everyone's excited. It was pretty much obvious to everybody except for Adelaide Bird. I don't know why she's the ref. And now people are going, fuck boxing again. This fake. It's fixed. Yeah. MMA is better. What are your thoughts?
Okay, so first of all, yes, that was bullshit. And you hide about that. Even if you gave Canelo, who I like, by the way. I'm not an anti-Canelo guy. I love that guy. Even if you gave him, that one where he buckled Triple G, you could have even gave him a 10. Even if you gave him Chen 8, even if you gave him Chen 8 on 2 of the fucking hounds, he still don't win the match, and it's still not a draw. So it's silly. But correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, don't we have the same people in charge of the judging in MMA? It's just all come from the athletic commission.
It's the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Yep.
It's not that boxing is crooked per se.
But people don't know that, though.
No, I'm just saying, but I was thinking about this shit just today. Like, all these years, ever since I'm a little kid, it's been like this. We've been complaining about the same shit.
Yeah.
It's like somebody need to step in. Who need to step in? Who would need to be able to control these fucking people? The government? I mean, what? Who needs to?
But I heard that 30
Why is it 3 judges?
Enough?
Why can't it be more judges?
But also, why is it okay? What other job can you just be terrible at and destroy the people's career? You know what I mean? I mean, if you was a director and you made terrible movies that always flop and the studio always lost millions, why would they let you direct things with A-list movie stars over and over and over again when you're destroying people's shit?
Maybe those people are also judging fights that aren't as high profile and doing a decent job at it. But Steve, what's your thought on this?
I gave Canelo maybe 4 rounds, the 2nd, 3rd, and the 11th and 12th. I thought that Triple G clearly won, but it was a thing where Canelo did land some power punches, but he would start fast in the round and fade almost every round, especially in the last half of the fight. I thought it was clear to me. I think that this judge is definitely, a problematic judge. So they got to really think about mainly benching her or basically ending her career. I think it's one of those things. It's like Renato said about the film director thing. I think that judging, I always said, and I've been a judge before. Have you ever been a judge?
No. Only God.
It's a pain in the ass, to be honest, if it's a close fight. But the thing is, now they have punch stats. And so when they have punch stats, I'm thinking, why do they even need judges? Just go to the punch stats.
Well,
they need somebody to blame. The people, it's part of a process. They want the fans, who can we complain to? Oh, the judge.
But then a guy might throw 5,000 pity-patty punches and win fights.
It definitely is.
But the punch stat accounts for power punches and just pity-pat punches.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
So you should just go to the punch stats. Why even have judges?
Yeah, power punches is key.
I mean, it's so weird. But don't you now? My dad told me that the odds on a draw went from 30-1 to 15-1 that day. Which they said so much money must have come in on the draw that day to go from 30 to 15. So do you? He's like, my dad's like, listen, in 15, 20 years from now, you're going to find out this fight was one of the biggest. Do you think that that's possible? That
absolutely possible. Sure. Likely, no. Possible, yes.
Yeah, I think theoretically it's possible because they're looking for a fall person, and I say person because I wouldn't say fall guy because Adelaide is a woman. But it's one of those things where you have to say, but people are going to definitely move on. They're going to have a rematch, so there's not going to be enough heat because these guys don't hate each other, not in each other's face. They don't understand how to play the promotional game. That's one thing.
Yeah, but Mexicans are going to order fights.
Unfortunately, though, in
it's
MMA,
going to be on Cinco de Mayo.
A lot of people are learning how to play the promotional game, and they're doing these fake smack talk things. And I don't know what's worse, no smack talk or fake smack talk. You know what I mean? It's like,
but Triple...
What's the next line?
But Triple G, I mean, the thing about Canelo, I mean, he could fight a paper bag and people are going to pay. And Triple G also has that Armenian.
That's Kazakhstan. Let's get it straight.
Armenian's isn't he kind of Armenian also?
No, he's Kazakhstani. 100%.
Speaking of Armenians,
and so is Borach.
Off the cup. So yesterday, Coach Edmond went on the MMA Hour and says that Ronda Rousey has a shot of beating Cyborg.
Oh boy!
Now, is he trying to get? Is he in her will or something? And he's trying to get cashed out.
I think he just. You know what? I think he will take any opportunity to make money. That I don't know the man, but that's my hypothesis on there.
But she'd make money fighting Gina Carano or somebody that she could actually beat.
She has a shot to win.
Everybody keeps on bringing up Gina Carano. Is she even interesting fight? I don't even hear her.
No, but she's probably the only person in the top 5 right now that Ronda Rousey would beat. Or we could definitively say,
someone who hasn't fought in 9 years or something like that. Yeah, I mean, look, I think that he knows. Okay, she probably got one big marquee fight left. You know what I mean?
Like, but why a 145-pounder who's a fucking killer?
I have no idea. Maybe he knows it won't happen, so he's saying it.
Yeah, see, the power of talk. Nick Diaz said, you know what, screw MMA, I'm going to go into boxing. I'm going to fight Jeff Lacey. Remember that?
Yeah.
Left hook Lacey.
And everybody said, no,
Lacey
don't fight that guy.
Lacey would have killed him.
And then all of a sudden, he talked about it, and then all of a sudden, he got paid a lot more money to fight somebody else.
Yeah.
There's a game of talk.
But Ronda's making money.
If you're not relevant, unless people are talking about you.
Honda's not making the same. A lot of the deals that, I mean, look, I don't know I'm not her, manager or whatever. I'm only knowing what I hear, just like you guys. I don't really talk to her much anymore, ever. But she, a lot of those deals and shit, it's not the same. You know, when you sign, people learn the hard way. When you sign a lot of deals, people don't know this in Hollywood. You sign like TV contracts and shit. It's happened to me before. You sign a contract and they're like, wow, you got for 3 years or a 3 movie deal, whatever. That's for you. You have to do that. You, on your part, you got to do that. In the little fine print on there, they get to clip you whenever the fuck they want. So, and when you're new to the game, then you're not gonna turn that deal down.
No, you're right.
If you're a Honda Houser, you're not gonna go, well, I'm not taking you thing to play Superwoman because you could get hit of me if I don't win fights, whatever. So there's a lot of opportunities.
I wasn't saying that she's making the money that she was making before those deals. I'm saying that if Ronda Rousey came back to the UFC, she would make a ton of money if she fought Cyborg or if she fought Lauren Murphy. I'm just saying Ronda Rousey has that name, that star power, where people would pay to see her.
Personally, I think it would be a mistake. I think she should ride off into the sunset and do pro wrestling and do movies.
That's what I would do if I was like you.
Yeah, but movies, I don't think people are... I mean,
but
WWE
exactly.
would be... That's the number
now,
one.
But maybe after people get over the smoking being cleared of the 2 knockout losses, she can still come in and there'll be, well, legitimately, I'm an Olympic medalist and I was the champion, I was down by 40. Because people are very forgiving over things. Roberto Duran, he quit in the middle of the fight.
That's true.
He got cast out forever, and then now everybody wants to have pictures with him.
And people making movies about him and all that shit.
Times change, man.
Imagine for a Latino fighter who was known to be a fucking dog.
Macho.
He was known to be a macho fucking dog of a man. And to actually give up to like a pretty boy black, you know.
What's crazy though is that I heard he gave up though because he was like, this guy's running from me. According to him, he said this guy is...
Have you watched that fight?
Yes, of course.
And did that look like that to you?
According to him,
he could say anything, but you see what you see with your fucking eyes.
Yeah.
You see what you see with your eyes.
Words come out, you know. God bless the president. Anyway.
God, don't make my day. I have enough of that guy.
I heard some of the craziest Duran stories. I heard one story where he knocked out a horse. And then I heard someone raped his sister. So he took the guy, took him to the top of a building, threw him off, went down, brought him back up, and threw him off again.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. But then you think about that and like he gave up against fucking
Leonard.
Yeah. I mean, there's a great 30 for 30 about that.
Okay. Yeah, I know that where Sugar Ray goes down to Panama and finds him. Okay, but Duran, before then, he was given tax-exempt status in Panama because he was a legend. He beat Sugar Ray. He beat the Olympic gold medalist. He was the top guy in the macho. Everybody wanted to beat him. And then, when that happened, they had death threats after he quit against Sugar Ray, and his life went down. And he survived and built his way back up and beat Davey Moore, fought Marvin Hagler, almost beat Marvin Hagler. So the point
when
is,
the fights was...
I know. See, the point is, with Ronda, her fighting career may be over, but people will forgive her over time because the accomplishments. Once you look at the knockout of Beth Carrera and beating Misha Tate a couple times, these are dominant wins for her, and she's moving in movies. Roadhouse probably not going to happen though.
Dancing with the Stars. She should go on Dancing with the Stars. I think she probably do well on that.
Shit like that. There's opportunities out there for her to make money and to recreate, but I don't know that.
I'm going in a couple weeks actually. Dancing with the Stars.
Really?
Yeah.
You're with who?
My best friend produces the show. I go every season.
Nice.
I go to one episode every season. It's actually very fun.
I'm sure it is.
When Dana White and Chael Sonnen were there for the Paige Van Zandt one. Yeah, it was cute.
By the way, Paige is fighting Jessica Ai. Good fight coming up.
That should be fun. That's a good one.
I think Ai's going to win, though.
That's very competitive. I think that's a good one because it's not too much for Van Zandt.
For both of them,
well, Ai's going down, Paige's going up. They're fighting at 125.
I think they're in the same echelon.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a good test for like if Paige Van Zandt could get past Ai, it's kind of like that's an evolution for her, you know. And then it's a test. It's a big test.
Let's talk about some of the fights that happened over the weekend. MMA fights. Luke Rockhold, I was wrong. I thought, like I said, he was going to steamroll over David Branch, which he did in the second round.
Did you get worried? How about when he just
100%? I was like, I don't know anything about fighting.
You know what it looked like? It reminded me of that Phil Baroni when he had that dude
against Dave Meney.
Dave Meney, yeah.
I thought it was going to turn it. I'm the best ever. I'm the fucking best. Yeah. I'm the fucking best ever.
Hey, listen, when Frank Vincent died, first guy I texted was Phil.
Yeah.
Because Phil used the Shinebox line a bunch of times. So I said, Frank Vincent. R.I.P. And he didn't get back to me. I went, and then after the Triple D thing, he calls me.
Yeah.
What do you think of the fight?
No, so that beginning, I was like, whoa. I thought maybe, my first thought was Rockhold overlooked this guy. He didn't take him seriously. But in the second round, that's when you saw the class, where Rockhold's a little bit of a higher class than Dave Branch.
You know what, Branch? I saw Branch talking about it.
What's that?
And, about the fight.
Yeah.
And he said he said hats off to him. He said he that boy could fight, blah blah blah. And he said he said I did not take him lightly. But he said one thing though is the whole time we never anticipated him going for a takedown. So we didn't even, because they thought that he thought he was gonna knock him out,
Right.
So they thought like, there's no way.
Yeah, but I mean,
I'm just saying.
At the same time,
yeah.
I understand what you're saying, but at that level, though.
No, true.
But, I mean, how do you not suspect it? I mean, how do you not train? Shouldn't you know how to defend a takedown
anyway?
anyway?
Look what he did to Chris Weidman. Look what he did to Chris.
No, exactly. I'm just telling you.
I know what he said, right? Yeah.
And it's interesting because. But yeah, he got fucked up at the end. Yeah,
it was weird though. It was now. What would you have done if you were? Now he tapped the strikes, which I guess he's the last person to tap the strikes. And some people are like, "What a pussy!" I'm like, okay. First of all, you try having fucking Luke Rockhold on top of you, punching you in the face.
And not just in the face. You gotta remember, he wasn't in the face. He can't see nothing.
Yeah,
and he can't move.
And it was 2 minutes left of the round. Like anybody that goes in there. Anybody is not a pussy, and
if David Branch, and look, I just encourage anybody who think David Branch is a pussy, don't keep it to yourself. Say it to him. Say it to his face.
Or even anyone who taps the strikes is a pussy.
Yeah.
At the same time, what would you have done if you had Luke Rockhold on top of you? What could he have done?
Here's
better?
the only thing I can't second guess anything that Branch did, because I've hauled with the guy. Okay. He know what the fuck he's doing. I don't know how fucked up he was. I don't know how tired he was. I don't know what was going on with him at that point. But I will say this. Once he got to his stomach like that, and you got Rockhold crossing his feet and skydiving there, it's very hard at that point to get back onto your back. So you got nowhere to go. You can't go through the canvas, and then he's on top of you, and it's hard. Yeah, the fence is there, and then he's making you back arch. So then it's hard for you to fucking turn.
So what should he have done? That's what I'm saying.
I'm saying the medicine is before that.
Don't get in that position.
Transition to the mount was so quick.
Whatever he had, however he ended up going. No, because he was on his back.
He got a body lock and he had him side control, and he quickly just took that mount and he turned over.
Yeah, so I would never turn over from the mount. I would rather be somebody mounting me. I could survive.
I'd rather see them and not be able to see them.
Yeah, I would rather be in a mount than have somebody on my back while I'm flat on my stomach.
Blindside.
100%.
Yeah,
hip escape.
Yeah.
You're like a one-way to roll because the fence is there, and you can't see the punches coming.
You can be safe in the bound if you play that shit correct.
You just buck and roll as much as you can.
Yeah, and here, exactly. And hide in the crotch,
I was just wondering, honestly, I'm just saying, like, I was just wondering, like, okay, what could he have done?
Yeah, he could have done all that shit. However, this is us calm right now.
Yeah.
You saw how upset I was.
I remember when I was in 7th grade wrestling, and I was getting pinned, and I bridged, and I had a really good bridge. And I go to my coach, is like, I lost like 12-2 or something. And then like, I go, the coach is like, yeah, you got beat pretty bad. I go, but hey, that was a nice bridge. And he goes, if I wanted to see a bridge, I moved to Brooklyn. so sort of like, don't get in that situation,
I mean, but it's easy to say. I mean, and sometimes you get taken off guard by something, like you have, how like you have a brain fart or something, when that guy, he had a body lock takedown and just took him down, sometimes you just lose focus for 1 second, just like I said in basketball. Yeah. Somebody could, in a big playoff game, somebody passes the guy the ball and he have butterfingers, or he's about to do his move before he even catch it. He's just already on to the next thing, and
I'll tell you though, there was
it's not like Luke can't hit, because especially from the mount, when you posture up like that, you get a lot of power.
I'll tell you though, there was a legacy fight last week on LFA where this guy from Africa was fighting.
Watch your mouth.
He was fighting an undefeated guy who was a black belt in judo and a college All-American. I forgot the guy's name, but this dude got put in rear naked choke in his back at least 5 times and got out every single time. And
that's not good. That's not a good way to do it.
Even Pat Miletich was like, "Man, change his name to Houdini because he keeps getting out of this."
You don't want to be famous for. That's what I hate. You know, people tell me sometimes my students or whatever, like I catch the guy like in a triangle or something like that, and then I see though that everybody else in the class, like the lower belts and shit, he get in the triangle and they can't finish him there. So he go, well, you're the only person that can get me, and I go, don't. That's not good practice being like, I'll let people put me in a triangle because I hardly ever get tapped there. It's like, no, don't get in the fucking triangle. What are you doing? You're not Brer Habit, you know?
Yeah,
like,
no.
I'm fine in the triangle here.
Yeah.
This is not Uncle Hemus.
You're fighting from a disadvantage and trying to get.
You're fighting from a disadvantage. No.
I am.
No, I'm kidding. What happened? You guys having a?
No, we're calling Sara McMann right now. We're gonna have her on FaceTime.
She
had a rough life.
It's a shame what happened to her not being able to have a relationship with me.
We're going to talk about that, actually.
Hey, let me just set it up like that where it's, I'm sorry that...
Yeah,
and then it turned out being about our relationship.
1,000% we're going to do that. But before we call her, I actually want to talk about fantasy football. Fantasy football is back, people, which means FanDuel is back, which is fantasy football for everyday fans. New contests starting every week. No busted seasons. Something for everybody. Lots of contests to choose from, starting at just $1. Just pick a contest, choose your team, and watch your score real time. I play fantasy football on FanDuel. It is so much fun, and I win money every week. So
let me get a taste of that one.
Yeah, I'm telling you, FanDuel.
I want some of you first.
You want some of my money? No problem.
I just want your money.
And not just me. Over 2.5 million players have won a cash prize playing fantasy football on FanDuel. Sign up today. Go to FanDuel.com. Click the Join Now button and use my code MMA Roasted. New users get free entry into the NFL Sunday Million with over $1 million in cash prizes when you make your first deposit on FanDuel. Just visit FanDuel.com and sign up with MMA Roasted. That's FanDuel.com. Promo code MMA Roasted. Void where prohibited. I'm telling you, fantasy football makes football so much more fun, and you can win some money. Other fights this week. Hector Lombard. Man, that was rough. I'm a huge Hector Lombard fan. He's been on the show a billion times. Happy for Anthony Smith. And he's a tough guy. He's also a guy.
For some reason, I like that kid. I always hoot for that kid. Even when he was in the other, what was he in Strike Force? Somehow I just something about the kid I like. I don't know.
He's got a chip on his shoulder.
He's not the best I've ever seen in my life, but I will always watch one of his fights.
He's really comfortable with himself, but I wish he would grow a mullet.
Yeah, he deserves something like that.
I think he should, because the shaved head thing, you're like everybody else. Get him mullet, man.
You know what? I'm trying to figure out with him, because I'm usually not hung about this, but I have been hung in the past. He ever looked to me like either one of his parents is either black or half black. You know,
I think he is.
Like Jason Kidd. You know,
he does have that. You're right.
Or like Blake Griffin. Yeah. Like, but you know who I thought that for the longest time. Even I used to tell people.
Robbie Lawler.
No, but he really is half like
is he?
Filipino or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why he looked like that. But I used to tell people, and I was wrong about this. I thought Nate Marquardt was one of those kind of cat. Oh. You know, he have those lips and he have like that head.
I thought Kevin Lee was half black.
Kevin Lee,
or part Asian or something.
No. So black people sometimes come like that. No, I'm serious.
What do you mean they come like that?
God was make them like that.
But Anthony Smith has a chip on his shoulder, and you know what? I don't know if Hector overlooked him. What I will say about Hector Lombard is, there are certain guys out there that would do a lot better if there was like a 175-pound weight class, because he's too small for 85 and he's too big for 70. And it's so weird that they go from 55 to 70 to 85 to 205.
205 to 260. Hey, he should have a cruiserweight.
Mike Tyson was a little ball like that, and he didn't.
But eventually he fought bigger guys, and Lennox Lewis. You saw how much bigger.
Holyfield was about the same size, basically.
He was a cruiserweight. Yeah,
Holyfield was very underweight. I mean, undersized his whole career.
Yeah. But,
You know
but, they,
what
but
I'm
it
saying?
should,
That guy
I think it should be
wasn't-
10 pounds. Every fucking 10
And he had
pounds.
a tough guy style. He wasn't like a boxer moving around and stick.
Oh, he was fun to watch,
right
man.
in
He
your
was,
face.
I used to love to watch Evander, and his his interviews got
One time he commentated with Boston on an IFL show.
Oh my
And
goodness.
so we're doing an MMA thing, and he goes, "Yeah, these guys move like real fighters." We're looking at him like, "What?"
Dude,
He said that during the broadcast.
You ever seen the Mad TV that guy Aries Spear used to do him?
oh, yeah.
And they had him talking all
You see
fucked
Aries
up.
get beat up recently during the Corey Holcomb podcast?
No, he got beat up.
Yeah, he was talking. He came on drunk and was talking shit to and Aries Spears has a reputation for comedy of being
I've heard he's been a belligerent. He's a belligerent.
and the guy just started punching him in the face, and Aries just covered up like this
Yeah, I bet
during
he
the
did. I
podcast, and
bet
they
he
kept the
did.
cameras rolling.
Wow, I gotta look that up. We gotta play that for the fans later. I knew somebody at Fox who said he was like on Mad TV, he was a fucking nightmare. But he did the Holyfield, and he would just say nonsense. He would be like, building barbecue sauce, like
Jesus.
barbecue sauce.
I remember hearing Holyfield in an interview, like he lost $100 million, right? And he said, "Look, no one teaches you how not to lose $100 million." I'm like, you shouldn't have to be taught that. Here's the deal:
You get swept up. I mean, you've seen it a million times.
You
They
had
get swept
6
up.
wives.
Appropriate the human race, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that, and then, with the fucking everybody. Look, tell me about the fortunes I've lost because of children's support.
One of the funniest interviews was after when Tyson bit Holyfield, right? Afterwards, they followed him in the locker room, and he's like, he kept headbutting me. He goes, look at that. My kids have to look at me. I'm like, well, your kid has to know the fact that you just bit someone's fucking ear off. That's what you're upset about your kids, the gash from the headbutt.
He was just out of his fucking mind. I remember that like it was yesterday. I had people at my house.
And he doesn't get banned for life.
Yeah.
Bring him right back.
Because he was him,
Yeah, because he made money for the commission.
Yeah.
Well, worse than that was Margarito, though. Margarito padded his fucking gloves and didn't get banned.
Panama Lewis.
Yeah.
Was that Panama Lewis?
No.
That was his rap.
No, but
his raps.
He's saying who he's talking about was the guy's coach, manager.
Yeah.
Took the hair out of the glove.
But he got banned for life.
Not just that. They took the fucking shit out of the glove and they dipped his haps in plaster of Paris. His boxer killed the guy.
Yeah.
His boxer killed the fucking guy in the ring because of that.
Yeah.
Okay? And the boxer to this day, I saw a documentary about that. The boxer to this day said he didn't know.
Yeah.
Bullshit. The same guy, Panama, whatever the fuck his
Panama
name,
Lewis.
he looked like he would be in like Earth, Wind and Fire, or he looked like
Reggae band.
Yeah.
not a reggae band, like he looked like Ashford and Simpson, he would have a captain hat and play the bass or some
Milli
shit.
Vanilli, yeah.
Well, a little different, but same. But he was the guy. If you remember when, who was that guy that they Aaron Pryor?
The final, the special mix.
But who he fought?
Alexis Arguello.
Watch that
The
fight.
first fight.
Yeah. Aaron Pryor was a bad boy too.
Super
but
bad.
I mean, he'll fucking. What was he from?
There's
Chicago
a
or
clip of
something?
him sparring Tommy Hearns. You got to find Aaron Pryor versus Tommy Hearns online. Dude,
Who wins?
The Hawk. They used to call it the Hawk.
The Hawk was going at it like Pac-Man. It's great.
Aaron Pryor was a bad boy.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's one of those dog out early 1981 or something. Those kind of early fights, and they going after each other. Boom, boom, boom. In the later rounds, Aaron Pryor is starting to get tired.
Yeah.
Okay, and it looks like he's fading here, and Alexis is still in the shit. You can hear it clearly.
Panama Lewis says,
Yeah.
"Give me the bottle." No, not that one. The one I
Yeah,
did.
the one I mixed. And then they give him one that has like a black taper on it.
Yeah.
And then he takes that one, boom, he comes out.
What do you think was in that, though?
Hold on, I know what was in it. So, but for years they didn't, but then the documentary. So, then he had all this fucking energy and he, started whipping his fucking ass. And it was controversial because they said, what the fuck was it? What was your, don't worry about what I'm saying.
Go on.
You could do two things.
No, what was in it? Well, go.
So he have the bottle, and everybody was like, "What the fuck is in it?" Nobody knew for years. Then the documentary I saw about
Legendary
killing
Nights.
the guy. This guy says one of his other fighters said he used to give us some kind of asthma medication that blows your lungs open.
Wow.
When asthma, if he was having an attack. and it allow you to artificially get more oxygen.
Wow.
And he said he regularly would do that. They did it a million times, but this was one of those famous markets.
He should have patented it. He'd make a fucking fortune if he would have sold it. That sounds...
It's illegal. It's illegal substance, like your marijuana oil. You're gonna put it, hub it on you, and then do your podcast. I'm gonna talk to the commission. You're doing you announcing. You know, they said this guy sucks. He's not, and then you put that and you go, listen, everybody, this fucking fight.
Yeah. All right. So we're calling.
You come up with all the words and all the shit.
So we're calling Sara McMann right now.
Why does she want to look at you? Turn the one toward me.
Hold on. We're gonna get her on the phone.
Aaron, I'm starting to get excited listening to all this boxing talk.
Aaron Pryor.
Yeah, this is how boxing should be.
It was almost as if
this is what they should. But these,
you know how hip hop is now.
Yeah.
It's like that's how different boxing is now. As hip hop is now.
I can't get into it. My wife likes this fucking mumble rap.
Because she's in her 20s.
But Sara McMann, there is the most beautiful fighter, talented, role model, all-American woman, silver medalist, fighter. How are you, Sara?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. I'm here. I got Andrew Montañez is here, as well as Stephen Quadros.
Hey, Sarah.
Stephen Quadros.
And then we got Renato Laranja.
Hey.
Hey, back to you, baby K.
So, Sara, are you driving right now? Please park your car.
No, I'm sitting in my car. I'm not driving.
Oh, good. So, how are you? What's going on?
I'm good. I just finished practice with Team Alpha Male. We had a wrestling practice this morning. I'm helping Brooke Mayo.
Brooke Mayo.
Oh, yeah.
So,
she's cutie pie.
She's getting ready for Bellator, so I came in to help her this last week. She's cutting weight and, just got to, keep everything going good. So, yeah. And then, working on stuff I need to work on.
Nice. Now, how is the difference between you were in New Jersey, I think, training, and now being a Team Alpha?
South Carolina, New Jersey, who cares?
South Carolina, yeah. So, one of the differences, there's a lot more higher level partners. I think in most gyms, there is some higher level partners, but here it's the majority of the people are they specialize and they're very good, and you have people come in from out of state or out of the country, but for the majority of people, over 3/4, they are top of their promotions. They've been doing this for over 15 years, and they're dangerous in one or two of the areas of MMA, and some of them are just Cody Garbrandt is just all around dangerous.
Aren't they low level because they're 5'2" or?
Yes, they have Napoleon syndrome. They will kill you.
That's true.
I don't think you want to talk shit about this gym because they got a little army over here. Okay?
They seem to enjoy me fucking with them. Thank God. Now, are you training with Cody and those guys? Or are you training with the girls? Who are you training with?
So, since I've been here, Uriah's worked with me a lot. Cody's worked with me a lot of practices, especially because we're just really good drill partners, So we both a good wrestling base. Cynthia's worked with me, and she's even come in just to work specifically with stuff to help me out. Everybody here is awesome. So Brooke has worked with me, another amateur girl, Tiffany. The girls and the guys, all of them are great about working with people.
Is your daughter with you?
Not right now. She's in school.
Now, is she going to move out there with you?
She's already out here, moved with me. I would never move away from her because I just would sink into a depression.
Right.
So,
yeah.
No, I had her set up with school, so she's in school for the next few hours.
How does she is she the new girl in Sacramento?
Yeah, but you know what? She comes in, she's so comfortable with mat rooms that she just comes in and she does a ton of contortion and gymnastic stuff that literally almost every day she's there, she's on Uriah Faber's story because she's had her feet over her head or just doing something that's insanely flexible and stuff. And so they're all that's what happens when you have Olympian genes,
I'm going to have you doing some contortion.
Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, Renato's penis. Let's talk about your last fight. You were messing this girl up. You were my lock. I was like, dude, Sara McMann, if I'm going to bet, this is the one. There's no way. And then she caught you in your move. how's shocking? Has that process? How are you dealing with that?
So I'm dealing with it pretty good. Like, there's a lot of positives to take from the fight. Obviously, I'm super disappointed in the outcome, but you know, like I knew that my endurance was going to be a problem in the fight because I'd had some just different injuries leading up to it, and I just wasn't able to like push that part of it. And then, so it wasn't really surprising to me that I got really tired in the fight, but I expected it to happen a little later in the fight, and I just didn't expect to go that high and hard of a pace in the first round. And so so I'm not. It's something that is very fixable. You know, it's very fixable to work on my endurance. And that's what ultimately failed me. It's when you fatigue to a certain point, I don't care who you are, all technique really goes out the window. You're just a different fighter. And so that's something that I can adjust, you know, and like, so not taking anything away from Ketlin, you know, but I feel comfortable that like, it really sucks more because I feel like I was the much better fighter. And then something that it's still within my control, you know, but it wasn't leading up to this.
Yeah,
fight.
I understand what you're saying. It's not like you went out there and got
contemplated pulling out of the fight.
It's not like you got out there and got outclassed or dominated. You got caught in a move where you were winning the fight. So it's probably like not. It's probably more annoying, but it's not that discouraging.
Yeah, no. So it's frustrating because I talk to my coaches and I'm like, I'm pretty hard on myself after a fight. I'm like, you shit the bed and you're not going to get a title fight. And I was just so hard on myself. And they're like, Sarah, yes, you lost and it does set you back, but I don't think it sets you back nearly as far as you think it does. And I didn't even really drop. I dropped one spot in the rankings. So I think the UFC, they understand and they know that like they take the whole fight into account, not just that finish, you know, and it does suck. And I have like more work cut out for me, but I'm not like, it's not like I went in there and got dominated and then submitted.
And you were on a 3-fight winning streak before that, so it wasn't like, okay, you got to worry about getting cut or anything. So I totally understand what you're saying, and totally agree with you, actually, because you were looking great. Now, when you were in ground and pound, you had her, it looked a little bit like you were, I wouldn't say pulling your punches, but you weren't like, it was like you were going for speed and not power.
Yeah, so I think sometimes, especially with like, when you get those positions, you don't want to, I didn't want to really like blow my gas tank, you know, that power takes a lot out of you. And I wanted to overwhelm her, you know, like, and I wanted the rep to see that she was, you know, like if more of them had landed, the rep would see, you know, that she wasn't able to defend herself as well. So I really needed some of them more to get through. But sometimes when you just go fast, you know, rather than picking your shots and going with power, they're more likely to end the fight. Yeah. But also another thing I think of, like, there's been times that I have like missed somebody and punched the ground and it's hurt my hand or hurt my wrist. So when I hit them, you know, it's worth it. But if I punch really hard and they move and I hit the ground, that can mess me up for the rest of the fight. Or even, you know, like you break your hand, you have surgery. So like, I try to be a little bit smarter in that area.
So it wasn't that you were being too nice? Because it seemed like a part of me was like, you know, Sarah's so nice. She doesn't really want to hurt this person.
I am not nice because every one of the elbows that I hit her with in the knee in the face are completely contradicting that. Like, that's some of the best elbows I've ever hit in my life.
Yeah, that chick had a speed knot. She had a big fucking knot on her head.
So, so chasing topics a little bit, Renato said that you guys were talking and that you wanted a relationship, but he's more of a free spirit, and that he wasn't ready, but he just wanted to have sex, but you wanted her to be your boyfriend. Is that kind of what happened?
Well, you know, like that's probably just like every female on the planet, you know, like every girl above 13 is just like, well, you know, like I want to marry Renato, you know, but he, but he just can't contain himself to one woman. And you know, we all just have to come to this understanding and accept it. So I go to meetings now, you know, we have a group and we meet on Wednesdays and all across the country, you know, we cope with not having you to ourselves.
Well, you know, I understand that and I hear that and I appreciate that. But, you know, I feel that how I can, if so many women have that dream since they was little, how I'm gonna to deprive all of that ones for just one, So I'm gonna I'm gonna sacrifice your feeling to help everybody.
But the problem is that we can't taste that sexual chocolate and then not want it, to forever. That's just, I'm just being honest.
I'm gonna give you just a taste. What about just to have like a sample? When you get that one at the Ghirardelli or what's that See's Candy? Yeah. You're just gonna take a taste and enjoy that one, and then.
It's kind of like a drug, though. Like they should probably put in the little kid drug programs and separate the women out and say, look, if you try this, you might very well get addicted. And it can alter the course of our lives.
Caralho, I'm gonna put you in a program after that one. Okay, I'm gonna protect you from that. I love you.
Now,
I wanna make love to you.
Now, Sarah, are you dating anyone now?
I want you to have my babies, but then it's gonna be you babies. I'm gonna give the gift of giving that ones to you, and I don't want nothing in return. I just give it that one.
Listen, my genetics.
Yeah.
You would be trying to keep those babies.
God,
there's no way.
I'm gonna use them to win fights for me. Human cockfightings. But I love you.
You're in love. I've never seen you like this before, Renato.
I've always had a stuff for you, and
now, is it her face, her butt,
everything about her? She exudes something in especially in heel life. That don't even come. I can't even. You don't know when you see her fighting, all that kind of stuff. When you see in heel life, she exudes something that's very intoxicating.
Now, Sarah, I know a lot of these guys over at Team Alpha Male, Touchy Feely, Cody No Love.
Don't touchy feely any of that guys.
They seem to have their way with some of the girls. That these are young guys, and you're like the hot cougar coming in. Have they tried anything with you or?
No, I think that. So, the way I carry myself in practice rooms, it very much just, everybody treats me very respectfully.
Because you're bigger than those guys.
That just automatically happens. But they also know I have a very serious boyfriend.
Ooh.
What? Wait, excuse me.
Wait, who's this?
So,
the homeless guy that I saw you with?
It's a guy I've known for, a long time.
Yep.
And he's actually, this coming week, he's moving out to California.
What?
So...
Is he black?
What was he a fighter?
He's a jiu-jitsu guy.
Jiu-jitsu guy.
That's a low blow.
Super fight waiting to happen.
Low blow.
Is it Marcelo Garcia?
Oh my God, no! But when I first met him, I told Zach Bukowski, I was like, do you think his wife would be offended if I proposed to him? And Zach's like, I saw him first. And I was like, you bitch.
And Zach saw him first. So wait, now this guy, is it Dylan Dennis?
No.
Okay. Who
likes younger men. It's probably a younger man.
This is Chad Bingham. He's an Alliance guy from where I trained at in Greenville.
Chad Bingham.
In where? Oh, in Greenville?
Yeah.
His name is Chad Bingham.
Kind of guy.
And what belt is he?
Black belt.
He's a black belt.
Oh, yeah.
Under who?
Under Rafa Rosendo dos Santos. He's the same guy that I worked with whenever I was there.
Yeah, dos Sanch. That guy's probably make natural moonshine for you and have your head spinning and then make you to be.
Now, Renato, do you think you could beat her boyfriend?
Of course, and you have Stockton syndrome or whatever.
Stockton syndrome. Stockton.
Listen,
yeah, where they go to the 209.
Listen, no, you can't get mad. If we can't have you to ourselves, all of us women have to accept a consolation prize, So,
I don't accept that.
You just have to accept it.
No.
Find the best guy 10.
You're supposed to starve until you're so hungry that you just take whatever deal I'm giving you.
Listen, I'm only human. I have needs. Okay?
I know you have needs. I want to. Why you?
But you had a shot. You weren't ready. She was ready to settle down with you.
I'm telling you, don't trust this guy. He's have your head all fucked up. And he put you to Stockholm. What is it? Stockton syndrome?
Stockton syndrome, yeah.
Where the Diaz, it's like where the Diaz really take you and they smoke weed with you. And then you think you're going to hang out with them instead of Uncle Hanach.
Yeah.
Listen, tell the guys at Alfalfa Male that anytime they want to have a seminar up there, because I've talked to Chachi Feely about that, and I was an idol of his, and also
Touchy Feely is a perfect name that you could have actually had.
I feel like that is the best name in all of. The best nickname I ever heard. It's the best, clearly.
He's like a protege
and the
sexual harassment.
I love it. And he have a nice style. He's young. He could be my protege. He's the kind of guy that I like. And he's a good-looking kid, you know. But don't you keep his filthy meat hooks off you because.
Well, Sarah's got a serious boyfriend. Now, Sarah,
I don't care how serious he is. Is your relationship serious? He's a serious guy, or you are in a serious relationship with him?
We're in a serious relationship.
Well,
He's
you know
moving
what?
across the country to be with me.
Who cares?
Wow.
You know what? If you was with me, you'd be in a more, not a serious one, you would have a fun, funny one.
a funny
An
one,
enjoyable one.
Yeah, but this
I don't like serious stuff.
She's got a daughter. She's got to be a good role model.
So I have a daughters too. Who cares?
But Sarah's a good person. She's a fighter. She's a coach. She's a role model. She's an Olympian. I mean, Renato, you can't just fuck girls like this and not call them.
I was gonna call you. Hey, look, you're looking into my baby Browns.
What'd you say?
You're looking onto my baby Browns now. Yeah.
That's all. I'm just staring into your eyes. I can't even hear you talk.
Wow.
I'm just watching your lips move.
You don't have to. You know what? I can see how my baby Browns bring out your dimples.
Well, listen, we got to cut this off before she leaves her boyfriend. Sarah, who do you want to fight next?
Oh man, I haven't even thought of that.
You
so
better
I
start.
want a top 5 girl just to put me right back in the mix. You know, like that would be the best case scenario. And I have to look at the rankings because like everything shifts around. So,
Well, say somebody.
But you got to call someone out.
Girls ranked above me, I'm absolutely down to fight. And I don't really even think about style matchups because I'm comfortable on my feet. I'm comfortable on the ground. So like if I, alter the endurance of my last fight, I would have had a phenomenal performance. And so that's a very changeable thing. So I'm going to...
But what about like a Kat Zingano or a Pena or a Valentina?
Yeah, I would love to fight those girls. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Well, you gotta come out with some bad blood or something because they're not gonna put on the poster, hey, look, I'm gonna fight that girl because I got some cardio and it's okay and I could change it, but whatever.
Yeah, but I don't have bad blood and I'm not gonna fake that, But
let me to do the talking for you.
Kat or Pena, they're great selections because it would be a very intense, explosive fight. Like both of those girls are, they bring the fight and that would be, I would love that.
Well, I heard they was talking shit about you.
Are you in LA anytime soon? Los Angeles?
I don't know. I don't have anything scheduled out just because it's a lot harder to travel when my daughter's in school. But I'll be in San Jose this weekend for the Bellator fights.
You're going to move to West Hollywood and we're going to send her to boarding school and we're going to hang out.
Well, listen, Sarah.
Hang out, bide my time with your other 80 hoes.
What? I don't have an 80. That's 8, not 80. You're putting a 0 on there and you're making me feel like a pig.
I'm talking worldwide.
Listen, Sarah, it was a pleasure to have you. You look beautiful. You're a great fighter. I'm so lucky to have a person like you in my life. So thanks for being on the podcast.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Sarah.
Take care.
Take care.
All right, that was Sara McMann. Renato.
Take care. Good luck.
Bye.
Renato, I've never heard
Ciao.
you tell a girl I love you before.
Well, I'm only human. What a breath of fresh poontang she is. I love her.
I feel like
we have a connection. Me and her have a connection. We've had some deep conversation. Not since you have a dude or whatever. Look, I don't want to step on the guy's toes.
Yeah.
Did it come off like
no, not at all. It didn't seem like you wanted her at all.
No. Maybe a little bit, but no. But this is before she had nobody. We did talk a little bit. We did talk a little bit.
Have you ever had a girl that strong? Slept with a girl that? Have you ever slept with a girl that as strong as Sarah? Like her vagina does kegels on you.
I went with a bodybuilder once, and she was probably outweighed me by a couple,
Was it
10, 20 pounds.
Bang.
And it was.
Was it China?
China.
No.
Caucasian.
All right, go ahead.
You're learning, my brother. You're learning.
Go ahead.
It was like
That's just the one punch.
I love it. Go on. So you had a bodybuilder.
Yeah, and she was actually more kinky than I was, which was a lot of fun.
Did she lift you during sex? Like, no.
She couldn't.
He said that like he was very surprised. Like she was more kinky than I was. With fucking.
Wait, how kinky?
Imagine him burning candles over.
Wait, how kinky are you? What do you do?
People don't realize the power of jujitsu, just the basics.
Yeah.
I'd say, okay, mommy, and she mommy. I said, okay. I'd say, do you want to tap? She said, no, I'm out of here. I said, and then I hooked the ankle, I hooked the arm, I turn on the side. You want to tap? I get him out. I said, I want to tap, and just so jujitsu is very good foreplay. I learned that.
Yeah.
I'm not a master like you.
Especially when you could choke her out. No, kidding.
Very, very handy because differential.
It is very handy in those situations.
You know, I mean, come on.
My girlfriend's a white belt, so it's very easy. It's very fun.
You know what's funny is
fun.
some of that sweeps and shit actually can facilitate changing positions.
Oh, totally.
You know what I mean? It's funny because where a normal guy would have to just pull out and make some clunky transition, almost like a DJ. You know, like we can mix haircuts. These guys is going kaboom, dead air.
I was banging my wife and I put her in a go-go platter.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
I put my wife in a go-go platter during sex.
Did you make her to suck your toe?
Yeah, it was.
I know what did that.
the foot.
Yeah, I'm gonna put like that. I'm gonna grab her on from that, and I'm gonna put this little piggy horse beef in here. Where are you?
She's reaching for alcohol.
Yeah, and then she's gonna gag like that.
Yeah.
Nice. That's hot.
You go, oh no.
So you know who I was actually back to the fights. You know who I was really happy for, who scared the shit out of me once again. Uriah Hall. Man, that fight could have been stopped in the first. I mean,
absolutely.
If they would have stopped it, it wouldn't have been, because he would have been like, you know, they stop a fight and the guy's still kind of loopy. You're like, first you're like, early stoppage, and then you see him, you're like, okay, that was a good stoppage. I feel like that would have happened, but Uriah Hall,
hats off to that guy, man.
Man, but that's the thing. That's why he's probably the most frustrating fighter to coach.
Because the potential of that guy is through the
you probably see him in practice, and you're like, I have a world beater in my gym,
and you never know. He still might end up being that fucking guy. He might not have found. He's still relatively young, no?
But he's a guy record 13-8. It could have easily been.
Is his record that
something?
It's
like,
13-8.
It's something to that extent.
Are you?
Yeah.
When I saw him on The Ultimate Fighter, I thought this is the next guy.
Yeah, me too.
This is the next Anderson person.
Everybody.
And then something happens. He short circuits somehow in the head. I think it's like Andrew Golota. Remember him?
Oh my God.
I don't want to compare him to fucking Andrew.
No, I was watching the fight,
but he was a dirty motherfucker.
He was a good fighter, though.
He was a good fighter, but
really good fighter.
Don't compare him to
somebody on the Underground posted 2 days ago. Somebody on the Underground posted 2 days ago, Golota versus Tyson, right? Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, back then you paid by the round because everyone was like, this fight's gonna be over. So it was like $10 a round. And then he didn't come out for the third round. And my dad's like, I'm not getting fucking charged for this round, and called up. They're like, you don't have to pay for the third round.
I don't remember that. They used to do that?
For like some of these Tyson scams, they were just paying by the round. And it was funny, like, it wasn't funny. Like, he ended up getting a concussion and totally fucked up his eye. It looked like he just quit though. But in the first round, Tyson, he goes back to his corner, and Golota's corner goes, "Don't you quit, you cocksucker!" Like, he goes, I've never heard a corner go, "You fucking cocksucker."
Was it Bo Golota where all that dirty shit happened?
Oh my God! And remember that?
And there was like a riot.
That was awesome.
But yeah, Golota.
George Foreman was there, and
he saved Jim Lampley's life.
George Foreman was saying, "Son, don't try it. Don't try it." You see that some guy was going to go. George Foreman, maybe not.
But yeah, Uriah Hall, I wouldn't compare him to Golota, but there is something that goes off in his head where you're just like, man.
Yeah, his physical capabilities somehow get settled by something mental, I think.
Yep.
I think it's a mental thing. So,
he's always had that mental thing.
Well, you heard Uriah Hall is dirty. He's not dirty.
Uriah Hall has always had that mental thing.
Did you heard what he said after the fight? He said, he admitted, I'm horrified, I'm terrified every time I come into the cage. I'm so afraid of this, which is why I do it. And he's like, this scares me every time.
A guy like that, you almost...
I have to overcome it every time. And he was kind of saying that, like, you seek out, and so that you overcome this fucking thing. He wasn't saying he admit he's terrified. So maybe some of that have to do with some anxiety, some shit that he's going through during the fights. I mean, not a a thing in his character or a thing in a mental lapse.
Maybe there's a mental block.
Maybe just fear. Anxiety is a hell of a drug.
I've seen him fight in Ring of Combat before he got in the UFC, and he had that mental block a bunch of times where he just couldn't pull the trigger. He'd fight these guys much smaller than I'm like.
Steven, who else has that? You're saying?
Sally Field has that. And Sally Field said that.
You didn't expect that.
No, her fights are amazing.
The thing is, no, she's one of the world's greatest actresses.
Yeah.
To this day, she still says she gets anxiety every time she does her job. It's one of the greatest actresses in the world.
Now, were you in Pride that day where they stood? It was Belfort versus Vanderlei when Belfort was hiding under the table and they had to talk him out. And
that
then
was in Brazil.
That was in UFC.
That was in UFC when he came out and finished him in 30 seconds.
Vanderlei was the last minute replacement, but Vanderlei was killing everybody in Vale Tudo rules.
Yeah.
And I wasn't there, but I know a bunch of people that were there. And his mother came in, and Carlson was screaming, and the whole thing.
And he was underneath the table. Really, he was hiding under the table.
I don't know about the hiding under the table, but it was
I can't imagine
that. Was John Jones hiding under the ring. Sada that time, but.
Yeah, that'd be a funny sketch where he's high. John goes under the table and like Belfort's there.
There's like other fighters
it's
there.
Some fucking weird.
What you in for?
Uriah Hall comes in.
Some weird
There's
fucking
a bunch of guys under there all jacked.
Well, what's his name? BJ Penn always said how fucking. Was it BJ Penn? How that he was always like nervous and what didn't Cheeto say he threw up before every fight?
Yes, Cheeto throws up for every fight.
And then. Sometimes those guys are the most scary guys.
Sugar Ray Leonard, I remember saying.
Oh, yeah?
He said before every boxing match he would be taking dumps, nervous dumps.
Oh well, that's almost everybody.
Yeah,
that's almost everybody. But throwing up is the next level.
Like pee, keep throwing the pee. Like,
the duty though, I understand that one.
Yeah. Oh, I had that before big comedy shows. Yeah. Like if I did a huge comedy show.
Audition. I mean, you.
Ed Van Halen used to throw up before he played. For Santana.
Crazy. That's crazy.
One of the greatest ever.
Now let's talk about the fights this week. Friday night. OSP versus Yushin Okami.
Because he was a replacement.
Who did he play? Shogun, right?
Something like that. I don't know. It was a more exciting one, and then
It was Shogun.
It was Shogun. Okay, yeah. So hey, God bless him for getting in there. At least.
I'll tell you though, I think OSP had a better shot of knocking out Shogun than Okami because Shogun seems to be easier to hit.
In Japan.
It's in Japan, and Okami.
Yeah, but you know what? I feel this is a very motivated. It's gonna be a very motivated OSP because of some bumps in the hole. You know what I'm saying? No, but I'm saying I think he's gonna be like, yo, this is I better. Yeah. It's
Okami's Japanese though, right?
Yes.
And he's fighting in Japan, and he looked great against his. I watched his last fight against.
Who, Okami?
Okami fought the World Series of Fighting against Paul Bradley. And
Paul Bradley.
And Paul Bradley, All-American wrestler.
That's the mayor. That was the old mayor.
No, from Iowa, wrestler. And Okami beat Bradley. I think Okami's going to pull off the upset here.
So this is his first fight back in the UFC after a stint out, right?
And the World Series of Fighting, or PFL. They call it now.
Okay, I'll beg to differ.
OSP's wrestling is not very good, is what I'm trying to say.
I'll beg to differ.
Okami's got great judo.
I'm gonna say that I would pick OSP for this.
I think OSP is gonna win inside the distance.
Size difference, I think.
OSP
size. Is Okami usually 85er?
I don't know.
Yeah. You should Okami.
Youth, athletic ability, talent. I feel like OSP. I think
I got Okami by decision.
I got Okami. I think that his judo and wrestling and his experience and OSP sometimes.
You Okami sympathizer?
No, I'm thinking of going to Japan. Okami's comfortable in Japan. You have a guy from the South going to Japan.
The South? Because he's black.
No, because he's from Tennessee, I believe.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
I think he's from Alabama, right?
I had you.
I know he's a Southern football player.
Maybe it is Tennessee.
I just see that there's a time difference. I just think.
Does he do that step dancing that the black guy does?
I was on the black dance team in college.
I bet you was.
I was. It was called the BDR, the Black Dance Repertoire.
Are you for heel?
I swear to God, I tried out as a joke. Here's what happened. This hot girl at lunch was like, I was like talking to her. I'm like, what are you doing today? She's like, I'm giving black dance audition. So I'm like, oh, can I try out? I'm white.
But she called it that? I'm giving black dance audition?
Yeah, so I was like,
That's
sure.
what I'm going to say I do for a living.
So I showed up.
When you get pulled over next?
Yeah. So I showed up. I was hands down the worst person, but I like made the team. It was like I was like the affirmative action. But I made the team, but I was pledging a fraternity, and I hated fucking pledging, so I kept going to black dance practice, and I won most dedicated member of the black dance team. But it was great because during parties, all the black teams would come to the frat parties. We'd all do our choreographed steps. It was like
Did you get some black punching from that?
Hell yeah!
Wait, now, so what, first of all, what was your crew called?
BDR, the fucking big dick repertoire. All right. So anyway, So, Jessica Andrade.
We don't want to gloss off. Let's not to brush past this too quickly, like, as if that's some shit. Like I used to be in a black dance troupe, but the economy. So.
Yes.
I want pictures. I
have
video.
100%.
I want the movie heights. Yes. I want to make a
no problem. But then there was one guy that was picking on me all the time. This fat guy named Rob, who was pretty good.
A fat black guy from fraternity was making fun of
in the black dance repertoire. So he was running for president of the black dance repertoire, and I ran against him.
There's a president of that?
Yeah, there's the president.
That's even more interesting and unique.
I ran against him.
How they gonna have a white president on a black college?
That was sort of like the people saying that we can't vote. This will be a complete joke if he wins. But because this girl won, so I basically knocked him out of winning.
A girl is to be president?
There was some hot girls on the black dance team.
But they allowed that one to be president?
Yes.
How can that be?
All right. Well, I talked about this before in our earlier podcast.
Oh, my bad. Okay, but I cannot.
Let's go back into the archives. Find it in the video.
This is black music to my ears. Yes. Okay, I just want to tell you.
So Jessica Andrade versus Claudia Gadelha. This fight is. You know what? I think Joanna Jędrzejczyk basically carved out how to beat Jessica Andrade in her last fight.
Yeah, I don't see her beating Claudia.
I think Claudia's going to win this fight.
Yeah. I like Andrade. I think it's obvious how to beat Andrade too.
I just feel like
she's out of her power zone. Keep distance.
Yeah. Gadelha is just. There's the cut, like there's Gadelha and there's Jędrzejczyk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's and then there's shades underneath. You know what I mean?
There's everybody else.
I feel though, if anybody could at some point get themselves there, I feel like Rose Namajunas has not yet reached the ceiling of what she's gonna be. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but it's a possibility.
Yeah.
That's the only one I see coming
I see it when maybe Joanna goes up to 125. She was saying on MMA Hour she would love to go up to 125.
But don't you feel Rose maybe keep getting better?
You know what? She surprised me
for a title.
When she killed the karate hottie, I was like, whoa.
I could not believe that. That actually hurt me because, I like both those girls though.
Yeah, they're
I'm a fan.
Slick.
I mean, not just because that kind of stuff, so female stuff, but just as fighters, I like those two chicks a lot. Those two are my favorite female fighters.
Yeah, I didn't think Karate Hottie was super well rounded until she fought Jessica Penne for that atomweight title years ago. Yeah. And she caught Jess in that 4th round armbar.
But when she ran through Paige Van Zandt, and I was like, whoa, I kind of became a believer.
Yeah.
But then when that Rose thing...
She it happens.
It happens.
Yeah.
Although it was weird. I was at the warm-up for that. I was in Kansas City, and I went to the warm-up. And sometimes you could tell it was like the same time Whitaker fought Romero, and I watched Whitaker hit pads. I'm like, this dude's got there's something special about this guy. Even just watching him hit pads. And when I saw the warm up of the Karate Hottie and Rose came out focused as shit. Just was like. And then Karate Hottie came out, was playing with her kid. It was doing a photo shoot. And yes, it was a 2 day before a warm up, but there was still something to be said about taking this seriously, you know? And it seemed like she was more interested in putting on a show for than it was for and look,
maybe there was a little bit of overconfidence there, you know.
And it was the first time they did a documentary on her, and it had that hour special.
There's a lot of pressure,
exactly.
And sometimes what you were seeing as somebody being too lax could have been her feeling a lot of pressure and trying to do things to alleviate that. Yeah. Well, I normally don't. Let me just relax.
Yeah, but it's your fight. Leave your kid. But it's leave your kid at home. We get it, your mom.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but we get it, your mom. Blah blah blah. But you have the kid. To me, at a warm up for a fight, and people are there to watch you warm up.
Everybody operate different, though. You never know.
But you don't see Rampage running after his kid, and if he is, he's running away from this.
Exactly. He's more on my style, where I go, listen, kids. I'm going to be fighting for the next 18 year or so. You can call me after that. And we can.
That's what I'm saying.
Right when they turn 18.
Well, because before that, I got a lot of stuffs I got to take care of.
I mean, would you ever see, back in the day, Prime Ken Shamrock, taking his kid and throwing him in the air? You don't see it. I'm sorry.
Maybe Frank Shamrock.
When was Prime Ken Shamrock?
I'm just saying that, with the bringing your kid to the warm up and playing with the kid, and you say, well. Oh, everyone is different, and maybe that's her thing, and maybe she won fights doing it. I'm just saying that, there's a certain seriousness that if I was her
Time
coach,
and place.
I would say, come on.
True, but like if that's her routine, like imagine you probably have somewhat of a routine from your comedy condo, and then whatever kind of thing. Maybe you like to get some rest. Maybe you like to work out I don't know what you like to do. But then imagine, then you get, one day they call you up to the big league. They see you at the seafood restaurant. And they go, listen, this guy Carnegie Hall, it's time for Carnegie Hall. And then you go Carnegie Hall and you say, listen, I'm feeling nervous about this, but I've been doing this routine my whole life, and why should I switch up now? Like fuck it. And then you go lay an egg, and then they go, why you change your routine? Why are you doing that?
I 100% get that.
And sometimes it's just not your night. Sometimes you're going to lose no matter what.
Yeah, it's not your night, kid.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can sit there and say, well, I shouldn't have played my kid. I should do it like everybody else. But I don't think that was the case. I think she just got beat.
No, I get it. Of course.
I that's the fucked up thing about combat sport. Like I said, you could have I always use basketball because that's the sport I play at most, and watch most, aside from combat sport. It's like you could just have one game where your shot's not going. Even like a Steph Curry, like there was games in that playoff.
He had that one game during the season he missed like 17.
Yeah, just missed fucking shots, and it's like just wasn't his night. But in his sport, they go, shake it off, you next game. This one, it's like, your career is over. It's like what a brutal fucking. Yeah. I mean, God.
In baseball, you could they have these guys that like don't get a hit for like 8-9 games in a row. I'm like, that guy would be able to be retired.
And they're getting paid. And they're getting paid more for that one game that they didn't hit nothing than this fucking chick's career.
1000%. Yeah. And and if I could be very wrong about karate, Hadi, and apologize if you feel disrespected. So Takanori Gomi versus Dong Kim. Gomi has been knocked out 3 fights in a row in the first round.
That's a good fight.
But Dong Kim,
7 years ago, the guy's been knocked out 3 fights in a row in the first round.
That is what my brain is doing. I'm like, this is a fucking good fight. If you take the 10-year ago Gomi and the now
I'm
Kim.
sorry, but
however.
Gomi should have retired, man.
You know what I forgot about though?
He should retire after that San Diego fight where he got knocked out by Tyson Griffin.
In Japan, they kind of loosey goosey with the steroids, huh?
I don't know.
Well, I don't know the UFC. I think Mark.
I'm sure you still have USADA. I'm sure you still have USADA. Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey,
Also,
I thought maybe if the fire, he could put some extra fireball in there.
I think he needs real fire. If he actually had real fireballs, then maybe he could fucking win this fight. I mean, what are we doing here? And why does a guy who gets knocked out 3 fights in a row in the first round and then another guy?
He's a hero in Japan.
The way you said that, and you was looking down.
Yeah.
I thought you was actually jumping into a copy of one of those things.
No.
Like, hey, what are we doing here? I mean, Blue Apron has fresh ingredients.
But I understand that. But the UFC's big enough in these fucking markets. They don't have. And I know Gomi's a name, and maybe he fucking wins in the first round, and I'm an asshole.
No,
but
I don't believe
at the same time, 3 fights in a row, all under a minute.
But
it's like Japan, the final goodbye.
It's Japan. They're gonna appeal. All those Japan ones have.
But don't fucking cut. Okami for losing 1 fight, and let this dude. Let's fucking keep it real.
He's kind of just a legend and like a cartoon character over there. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
So like, and you know how when you see Japanese UFCs, there's always some guys who like you're like I never heard of it, or like who the fuck is this guy? I mean, it's just a different stuff.
So Gokhan Saki, who I guess
the
kickboxing legend.
K1 guy.
Yes. He's 0-1.
This is his first UFC fight,
and he's fighting Enrique Da Silva, who's 12-3. This is his second fight. He's 0-1 in MMA.
But not in. I'm saying this is his first UFC fight.
Yeah. Now, how good is this guy?
I mean,
the best kicks of
in striking. Anybody who know about kickboxing or Muay Thai, my goodness.
How good
tell
is
him
this guy?
about Gokhan Saki.
He's one of the greatest ever, and I don't say that loosely. He's fought Sammy Schultz, who was 12 times bigger than him, went the distance, and it was a close fight in a Grand Prix. He beat Tyrone Spong, but that was a knee check. He broke his leg in the Anderson Silva situation. Gokhan Saki is super, super dangerous standing up. He can knock you out with either foot, either hand. It's a situation where that other guy better get that thing in the clean.
But the thing is, they're putting him up against Enrique Da Silva, who's Brazilian, so I assume his last name is Da Silva. Really? Why wouldn't you put him up against a guy he's 235, the guy's 205. I guess they're giving him a 30-pound weight advantage.
Nobody with a striking advantage. No one with like decent striking is gonna think, "Oh, I'm gonna fight Gokhan Saki and stand with Gokhan."
But I'm saying, why wouldn't they put him up against a striker?
Yeah, I think that's a dumb
the strikers
move
are gonna go, "I'm not gonna fight this guy."
They'll find somebody.
Oh, maybe
they'll find the guy Steve Bossy or the guy from the Canadian.
Steve Bossy would fight.
Oh shit, I like.
But why wouldn't you make that fight? But that would be a fight you should make.
I like that.
Make that should be the first fight because against a jiu-jitsu guy.
Well, maybe you're trying to do a throwback to the Japan days.
Maybe so, but I think that's terrible too. If I was build up Gokhan Saki, show the people that he can do, like knock the fuck out of people.
Well, you're giving him a chance because you have a guy
that's saying, wouldn't you put him in a guy that like that you could see some, so that you could get fans going.
Steve Bossy will stand up. Put him up against fucking Steve Bossy.
I agree with you. It's very rare occurrence. I agree with you 100%. Okay.
It's hard to write the fight before it happens.
Listen,
too, you
don't know what you're talking about.
They know something we don't.
All right, so that's those are the big fights on that card.
Gokhan Saki sound like a big Asian guy, but he's like, what is he like, Turkish or some shit like that? Yeah, he's like that. Don't let that name fool you. It's confusing. You're gonna think I'm going for Gokhan Saki. You're gonna look at the Asian guy. He's not the Asian guy. He's like a Middle Eastern looking guy.
So another fight on Saturday night, Bellator. Ben Henderson's fighting Pitbull.
Which one?
Ferrier at 55. So I guess it's Big Pitbull, right?
Patricky.
That's the bigger one.
What's the other one's name? These guys confuse the fuck out of me because they both have a nickname Pitbull and then they both name Pat.
They really should just have
brothers, man.
It really should be like the Killer Bees back in the 80s where they just have masks and you don't know which Pitbull you're fighting.
Those guys with the spikes and
the Hold Warriors
Doom or whatever.
No, the spikes. Yeah, the spikes.
I thought Doom, right?
The Bushwhackers.
The
Bushwhackers was this, but I thought the Hold Warriors. No, they didn't call them the Hold Warriors.
Yeah, the Road Warriors.
Yeah.
Hawk and Animal and Hawk.
Yeah.
So Ben Henderson has not looked good in his last. Well,
rest in peace to Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Yes. Ben Henderson looked good, I guess, in that one fight. He fought the champ, but he went losing the fight.
That guy is so tough. He fought at 170.
No, who did he fight? He fought the kid from Mizzou. That was the champ that ended up losing his last fight. Mike, you know what I'm talking about. The kid from San Diego.
I just can't remember.
You know, the one who was
Chandler?
Yeah, Chandler. He looked good in the Chandler fight.
Let me tell you, Mike Chandler is a beast.
Yeah, he's tough.
That guy's a fucking beast.
I wish that guy would be in the UFC.
Me too. One day maybe.
So Henderson and then Roy Nelson's fighting this Saturday against Javi Ayala. I don't know who the fuck that guy is. I'll tell you, the big fight in this card is Paul Daly, Lorenz Larkin.
Oh yeah, buddy.
That's happening. Wait, what?
Saturday night.
Yeah, that's a must see. Just that.
I got Larkin.
I got Larkin all day.
Yeah, Larkin's gonna move around.
I got Larkin.
Too fast. Daly needs the guy to stand right in front of him.
Yeah, Larkin.
Oh my
Larkin
God.
has a lot of big wins, and
Oh my God.
After a nice stint in the UFC.
You want to talk about a fight where two guys is gonna fuck?
Did you see that Daly knockout where he did the guy with the flying knee?
Yeah.
Hey, look. By the way, Daly.
I was here. I was in LA.
That was in LA, right?
Yeah, I remember, and that guy's good too. The guy who did that show, I can't remember his fucking name. The guy
Brennan
with the
Ward,
broken
right?
tooth. Yeah. I like that kid. But not to say that, of course, Paul Daly have the kind of power where he could knock out
and Daly
anybody.
looked terrible in his Bellator debut. Larkin didn't look good at all.
But Larkin, though, trust me.
It's a tough transition because
he's going to get his sea legs.
Bright lights to like the medium.
He's going to get his sea legs, my brother.
Yeah, Larkin's speed will be the biggest problem.
Also, Adam Piccolotti, undefeated, good fighter.
Wait, I know that guy.
He's fighting Gotti Yamamuchi. Gotti's good. Bubba beat Gotti.
He was supposed to do an interview last week. He couldn't do it. But
and then Aaron Pico's on this card. I'm telling you, Aaron Pico's good. I know you're laughing.
No, I'm laughing. I'm not laughing at Aaron Pico. I'm laughing at
how hyped we were.
Not that even. Just the fact that you used to work at his like comedy club.
The Pico Rivera.
Yeah. His name is Hilly Pico Rivera.
Aaron,
I think that's gonna be his new nickname. They're gonna go Aaron Pico Rivera.
Fantastic wrestler.
Pico.
I wish he would have got a little more work before.
That was my
mismanaged.
He went to college too.
Mismanaged.
He guys forgoes college to go to the Olympic Training Center.
His senior year of wrestling too.
And it's like, dude, where are you gonna get better at wrestling than in fucking NCAA?
Yeah,
three-time state champion, skipped a senior year. I'm like, come on.
And then Bubba Jenkins is fighting this weekend.
Bubba Jenkins, who's fighting?
He's fighting an ACB combat, which is Frank Mears, one of the commentators on that. It's he's fighting. I don't know who he's fighting, but he's fighting this Saturday.
Did you guys hear about? They announced Deontay Wilder against Luis Ortiz. It's It's the same day as the Bisping GSP fight
who's not
in
watching
New York.
Dan
In New York, too.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Sorry.
that's some boxing bullshit right there.
Not smart. And that ain't gonna win. They ain't gonna win.
Trying to split the New York crowd.
They ain't gonna win.
People in Brooklyn
will go see Deontay Wilder.
I'm just saying.
But it's fucked up.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
Take
but
a different weekend.
Not me.
By the way, did you see that thing on CNN? Totally off thing. That guy Clay Travis. Have you seen that clip?
What his name?
You play it on that thing?
What his name?
Interview.
What he did.
I want to know what you guys think. Real quick, this was the funniest, most ridiculous interview I've seen in a while. It was on CNN. So Clay used to work at Fox Sports. I think I'm pretty sure I'm getting his name right.
Just a harassment thing?
Yeah, did you see it?
Thing?
No.
Okay.
No, not the
Oh, hate and harassment?
No, that's not.
Oh, let's say this
different.
Clay Travis video.
Clay
CNN.
Guida video.
Clay Travis. So he goes on CNN to talk about that girl getting fired, or the girl that. Remember that sportscaster who called Trump a white supremacist?
Sure.
And people wanted fired. So he goes on CNN to defend the firing it. But his thing is that they shouldn't have fired. They put that picture. No, they didn't.
Oh.
But they fired that picture for that right wing. Listen, just watch.
And they said, look, you can't have this opinion. It's too conservative. We're not going to allow it. I think that's a bad move. I'm a First Amendment absolutist. I believe in only two things completely: the First Amendment and boobs. And so, once they
what a dumb mother.
That they were not going to allow a conservative, non-sports-related commentary, they couldn't do it.
I just want to make sure I heard you correctly as a woman anchoring the show. Did you say, what did you say? You believe in the First Amendment and BWBS?
Boobs. Two things that have only never let me work down in this entire country's history: the First Amendment and boobs. So those are the only two things.
Who is this character?
He's got a show.
And so I don't think
a football show.
Fired, but I do think, straight up, that once you make the decision that you are going to let Kurt Schill go, that you have to also make the decision that you're going to let Jamel Hill go. I think that's
look on her face.
Look at him. That have led to 13 million subscribers failing on
He just keeps going, which is
bad decisions that have led to ratings collapsing. Mel Hill's television show is collapsing.
They look at their faces.
Last week over last year. I think that's why she's angry. I think that's why she went after Donald Trump, begging for ESPN to fire her somewhere else.
Okay. Keith?
Listen, I'm astonished at almost everything I just heard. One of the things that Jamel's personal, not just a colleague, but a personal friend. One of the things that Jamel's had to deal with her entire career, and many women who I'm friends with in this business and have been friends with in this business for a long time, is sexism, blatant sexism, comments about her appearance, comments about her racially, comments about her inability or perceived inability to be able to comment on sports because of her gender. For somebody to come on CNN and to say something like, the only thing I believe in the discussion about something.
I'm still there too, and I just want to make sure I'm hearing you correctly. BOOZE or BOOBS? Because as a woman,
I said boobs. I believe completely in the First Amendment and in boobs. Those are the only two things I believe 100% in this country.
Okay, so he's gonna keep going.
No, she ends it.
Did you notice that? He went straight to that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I did go
Why
straight to that.
would you even say that live on national television and with a female host?
I say it live on the radio all the time because it's true and that's what I do. Because I like boobs and the First Amendment. That's exactly what I said.
All right, so
I mean, you know what's going on. I'll tell you what's going on.
It was trending afterwards. It became
he's playing the game.
Exactly.
That's right.
So he's a dude that I never heard of in my entire life. I never seen his face before.
That video has 1.2 million
and
views.
now all of a sudden, I'm talking about this fucking guy now.
Yeah, there's some guy.
He clearly,
I like boobs. What radio show does he have?
He clearly just did that, and they took the bait.
Yeah.
And the smarter thing would be to just go. First of all, you're hard to take serious when you say some dumbass shit like that.
Yeah.
But that aside, because that's who
no,
you
them
are
getting
anyway.
offended made
I can't change it. So what they're trying to do is shame him into being a better person.
Yeah.
That guy's a piece of shit. He's always gonna be. Okay. So you're not gonna change him. You're better off to.
But why is he a piece of shit? I mean,
Well, okay. So first of all, yeah. I'm not saying he's a piece of shit even because of that comment.
Right.
I think he's just a fucking goofball because of that comment. I think he's a piece of shit on his stance about that woman.
But his stance was that Curt Schilling should not have been fired. So if you're going to fire Curt Schilling, you got to fire that woman. That was his whole thing. Is that if you're going to fire a guy who has extreme...
And what did...
I'm not saying I agree with his stance. I'm just telling you what his stance is.
What did Curt Schilling say?
It was something about transgender bathrooms. He was complaining about transgender bathrooms. I'm not sure what exactly he said. So,
okay.
But...
I have a... In one case, I feel... This is my take on it.
Right.
I don't give a fuck if they fire Curt Schilling, whatever, okay? Here's my take on it. Is... in one instance, you have a person who's attacking people who aren't bothering him, okay? Then you have, in her case, a person who's attacking or pointing out that someone is attacking people who are not bothering him. So, in one instance, you have somebody who's speaking up against somebody fucking with people. And in the other one, you have somebody fucking with people. So that's where I see a difference.
Right.
But he may have a point about First Amendment, whatever, okay? But guess what? What should happen and what shouldn't happen, you got companies where they make the rules about that.
Right.
If I work for the UFC and I tell somebody, hey, I don't like Dana White's bald head or some bullshit like that, and I get fired, then, hey... fuck the First Amendment on there.
Right,
he's the boss.
It's companies,
okay?
right? Exactly.
So this jerk off here is just trying to say something stupid and disrespect, and use a serious subject where people are having a serious conversation about something to look. Wow. Oh, you. No,
no, I've never seen anything like that. That's just.
Other people.
I'm still very taken back.
Other people were defending him by saying, "What's wrong with boobs?"
Exactly.
There's nothing wrong with boobs.
That's a false.
CNN knew before they had that guy on that he was going to say some fucking wild.
I don't think they did.
Well, his whole history is these type guys, a radio show host, and controversial thing.
They had false.
Why bring
That's
on
what
him?
they do. No, but that's
they
what
do. And
that's
so
what they do.
You know that's going to happen. Then he does this, and he's going to get a million people that like that.
Yeah.
So he's going to stand, and then money is going to serious wherever he's at. He's going to pay.
Well, the guy's a lawyer. The guy's, according to him, because I never heard of him either before this, and I was just checking him out. And listen, I'm not a Curt Schilling fan. I do agree, though. I understand his point where if you shouldn't fire either of them, Curt Schilling or this person. Yeah. However, you know what? Maybe CNN, maybe ESPN leans to the left. And maybe that's what they is. So, you know what? Fuck it. Maybe they agree with fucking this girl and not Curt Schilling. And that's their business model. That's what it is. I personally think sports and politics should kind of stay. I don't watch my sports to fucking hear about politics, and it should kind of not be in the same thing. At the same time, look, Muhammad Ali's a fucking national hero for what he did with politics. So they're gonna be.
And that's another thing here too is that. And people tell me to me if I ever, and I rarely do this, but sometimes something get under my fucking skin about, like, let's say somebody shooting a fucking unarmed kid or something like that, and I might just be so fucking angry about something, and I say, listen, blah blah blah, and I get on a soapbox or whatever, and it's just me maybe venting. I don't know if I'm gonna change the world, but what I'm saying, and then somebody go, why don't you stick to fucking entertaining us, Renato? Would nobody want to hear your fucking opinion? Because what? I'm not a professional pundit, and then I think, oh, but because you a fucking plumber. Your opinion is when they said these fucking Hollywood,
and they come on your wall, on your Facebook, on your page, on your Instagram, to comment about you.
And I said, by the way, I didn't follow you. You followed me.
Yeah, exactly.
And so the thing is, it's like, why? Because you work at a pizzeria, or you're a fucking fireman, or you're something, have more. What your opinion means something more than because somebody work in the movies or some shit like that.
Yeah, no, I totally understand. I understand, but this guy, at the same time, like, he knew, like, you go on CNN and trying to have a talk about politics or trying to have a serious conversation, and you say, I believe in the First Amendment and boobs, and that's the only thing you believe in? Freedom of speech and boobs? Like that's not even fucking...
He just wanted to set them off, and he knew if he pressed that button that they would take the bait.
He kept such a straight face.
Yeah,
it was pretty funny.
He started cracking.
I gotta say, though, I did laugh, though. I did laugh when I saw it. It was pretty. But I only laughed, though, because of how annoyed those other people got. What he said wasn't funny. Their response response fucking killed me.
You laughed when you saw it, and you gave more publicity by playing it again on your podcast.
Because it's funny though.
It's okay, but that's what
people. I didn't know who the guy was until I saw that clip. So now I know who he is.
I have no problem.
It's just crazy that something like that could be on TV and they let that go.
It's part of the.
But anytime, look, if that was on Comedy Central, I wouldn't have laughed. Okay,
because it's out of the. It's like somebody going, "Hey, grab me the pussy."
Yeah,
you know that guy who do that on the thing. I understand.
And CNN, and her reaction made it funny, and his reaction made it funny.
Yeah,
you know,
because they're so taken back, they can't believe what they're like. They're both on live TV, like, what is this guy doing?
See, outrageousness sells.
Yeah.
And so people want to be more and more outrageous, the president or the Howard Stern or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
And they want to always push the envelope. Then this guy pops up, he'll be one and done on that, and then their new guy will come up. Remember Glenn Beck? I mean, come on. This stuff's been happening for years.
And these guys who complain, you got Ted Nugent coming out saying that this chick should come and apologize to him. Meanwhile, this is the guy that said he's going to stick his shotgun up Obama's ass.
They're hypocrites on both sides. Are hypocrites though. But both extreme left, extreme right. Fucking.
I understand. I'm just saying. I'm calling out a specific instance. Where this shit is going off the fucking where people are telling, and meanwhile they're saying to apologize to this guy. Listen, when fucking look who else did shit like this and criticized the president and called him a racist and all that kind of shit. This fucking jerk off, the guy we trying to defend here, the president. Okay, the guy that everybody's trying to defend against this woman, he did the same exact shit and never apologized with fucking Obama. So whether you are Republican or a Democrat or whatever you are, you can see bullshit when you see it. What's good for the goose is good for the commander.
100%.
Something like that.
What? Play it either way. See, the media is playing us. This kind of stuff. This is entertainment.
It's true.
You know,
it's true.
I got friends that work for the State Department, and they say this is all bullshit.
It's true. It's true.
And people think that they start arguing about this, which is not going to have any effect on them at all.
But we watch it. Exactly. And they know what they're doing. It's
we
like,
want to get excited too.
It's like if you have like, let's say what's that one Bill Maher or whatever.
Yeah.
If you have a show like that, it's no, that's the old one. See, I always get it
real time.
It's called Heel Chime.
Yeah.
But I still call it that too.
Yeah, me too.
Because we old. Yeah. No, we look good, but we still.
Right.
You guys are older men.
But we fine as hell.
Yeah, you guys are very.
We age like
very good.
I gotta go coach the kids.
You guys are both very.
Wrapping it up.
What were we just saying about that?
Something about politics, but we gotta keep it going. What do you got coming up, Quadros? Sorry, Renato. We'll get to this next time.
Don't worry, we always got to get you the kids.
My band, Snow, with Carlos Cavazzo on guitar, Tony Cavazzo on bass, and Doug Ellison on vocals, just released our first, actually, it's a double album called Snow at Last. It came out July 21st. It's available online. Look up Pure Uncut Rock.
You just got signed, right?
The record came out. We already got signed a while ago, a year ago. But I'm just keeping it on wraps because I want it to come out like boom. And we're doing the record release party at the Whiskey A Go Go on Sunset Boulevard on November 8th. It's a very big deal. It's going to sell out.
I'll be there.
Everybody got to get their tickets.
Where do I get my tickets?
WhiskeyAGoGo.com or whatever. I mean, you can go on Pure Uncut Rock is the Facebook. You know, that's where Snow is because the word snow has already been taken by some ski resort. So that's a very big deal. That's happening for me. And I've got a movie I'm going to be working on, Legionnaire Max, where I'm going to be playing a Legionnaire commander and also doing the technical advisory on some of the fights. And then a couple other movies.
Now, who are these other guys in Snow?
Never Back Down 3, too. That was awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Now, who are these other guys in Snow? What band were they in?
Carlos Cavazzo was in Quiet Riot. And they were #1 in the 80s.
Yep.
They were the first hard rock heavy metal band to ever make it to #1 in the Billboard charts in history.
Come Bring the Noise.
And then now he's currently with Rat and touring with them and doing all that kind of stuff. And that doesn't take away from Snow.
Hat is still around?
Yes.
Yeah. So
nice.
That's what's going on.
Round and around. So, what do you got, Andrew, coming up?
This Friday we'll be live on Pluto TV at Eves Edwards' house. We'll be watching the UFC fights. We'll be cooking food.
But with who else is gonna be there?
Dennis Bermudez will be joining us. He'll be flying in, and we're gonna watch
for the event. That's
just for the event. We're gonna. You guys are all welcome. We watch the fights. We cook.
Me and I go way back to WEC. He's a great,
fantastic fighter, great commentator.
Yeah. And this is at Eve's house.
That's at Eve's house.
Where's that in
it's in
Inglewood or Inglehawk?
Eagle Rock.
Yeah, Inglewood.
Ingle Rock.
Yes.
But we got that.
South Central.
And that's pretty much it. Just got some good meetings coming up, some big fight promotions, trying to bring more fight stuff to Pluto TV, and yeah, it's all very exciting. This podcast I will edit tonight, and we'll hopefully have up tomorrow night.
Oh, thank you.
Nice. And Renato, what do you got coming up?
Well, first of all, I want to also say about, for those who don't know about your boy Quadros, about him being in metal bands and shit. Like, it blew my mind when he a few years back showed me some footage. Where can they find that on YouTube? It's gonna fuck their head up.
YouTube.com/pureuncutrock. That's the snow.
I'm talking about the old one, my brother.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But what do you got coming up?
Look that up real quick, and you're gonna see this guy with long hair, fucking banging on the drum, like you won't even fucking believe it. It's legit. It's heel shit, like old school, like hard ass hot shit. Anyway, what I got coming up soon, because I don't want to bore these people with all the fucking events that I'm doing. I got a grand opening of the 10th Planet Albuquerque coming up. Nice. With me and Master Ken, the creator of Dolce from Enter the Dojo show. You know this.
Yeah. Tell Master Ken I said hello.
I will, for sure.
He's a super bad dude.
He's one of the most dangerous. So we're having a seminar and teach off at their grand opening, which is going to be at the 10th Planet Albuquerque, and that's going to be Saturday, September 30th, very soon, 12 to 3 p.m. And then a lot of festivities and all kind of shit and giveaways and raffles and stuff. It's going to be at 11030 Menau, MENAUL Boulevard, Northeast Albuquerque, New Mexico, 87112. Okay, so get you fucking tickets for that one, and I'll talk to you soon, Paul.
Okay, September 29th and 30th, I'm at the Blue Room in Springfield, Missouri. Blue Room, Springfield, Missouri, be there. This Friday night at 10 o'clock, I'm at the Ice House Pasadena. Saturday at the Laugh Factory in Hollywood at the Laugh Factory. And then Sunday at Flappers in Burbank, Flappers Comedy Club. And I'm at the Comedy Store Tuesday night at 10 o'clock. And the Improv in Hollywood Wednesday night at 10 o'clock. And you can watch us at Pluto TV on Roku, on...
download the Pluto TV app, iPhone, Apple TV, Android, Amazon Fire, Amazon Fire Stick,
Fire
Roku,
Stick.
PlayStation, Xbox, basically anywhere you can play video.
Any shit.
Pluto.tv on the web.
And you put that shit on your phone, too. Yep. You could just watch. And you know what?
This will be in the on-demand section as well, so if you don't catch the live broadcast or the rebroadcast, watch on demand.
Yeah, and I want to say from the first part, okay, I got a lot of friends in law enforcement. This wasn't a thing where I'm saying, oh, fucking cops and blah, blah, blah. It's just two fucking assholes that spoiled a bunch or whatever. But, to my cop fans and my friends out there, I don't got nothing against cops. We need to have good cops.
Thank you guys so much.
Follow me at Andrew Jitsu. Sorry for breathing into the mic, guys.